Hi everyone. So I wanted to do an Instagram live to hear from so many of you. You know, earlier tonight or earlier this afternoon, I posted a video letting you guys know that I am self-quarantined inside of my home here in New York City with Paddington, who is playing with a toy and wanting me to throw it. He's already feeling cooped and it's already day one of our self-quarantine. Essentially, the situation with me was that I came in contact with a colleague who has tested positive. I have no symptoms. I have not been tested, but I was also 4, 5, maybe 6 feet away from that colleague. But as a matter of precaution, my company, Viacom CBS, asked me to stay home. And so, of course, I'm more than happy to do that. And so I will be working. I'm supposed to be back on the air on Wednesday. You know, there are so many challenges to getting the show on, which my colleagues are meeting. You know, we have editors working from home. Most of our staff is working from home. The broadcast center is essentially empty. There are some very essential personnel who are in the building, but it's really a skeleton crew. So anyway, earlier tonight I posted a video saying, hey, tell me your stories, because I'm going to essentially do a story of homebound folks like me, right? And I mean, I'd say most of America is homebound at this point. So I'm working on that story. But then it dawned on me, why don't you do a Facebook Live and let folks engage, right? Let's have a conversation. Paddington. If I give you that, it's going to keep making noise. Do you want to come sit with me? Do you want to come sit with me? Something tells me this is going to be a challenging live. Here we go. Okay, so got some folks already in the queue.
Hey, what's going on, baby?
Hi, John. How are you? Where are you in the world?
So I'm in Rio Grande.
Rio Grande, Puerto Rico. Okay.
Yeah, I just moved to Puerto Rico 2 months ago.
Pause for just a minute. I'm going to see if I can take this toy away from my dog.
It got my baby girl's attention.
I'm going to see if I can take the toy away and find something else so that you guys can. Paddington, come see. Come see. Come see. Okay, so John, tell me your story.
Yeah, so I'm in Rio Grande right now. I moved to the island about 2.5 months ago for Act 20, Act 22. I own a business in the States, construction supply, and I'm going to be opening a call center here in Puerto Rico, a bilingual call center. So I felt like it was the most amazing time to move. I'm here now, and honestly, I feel good. I'm actually glad the governor did that, just as a precaution, as before any other state did it. She did shut it down, you know, so it's better safe than sorry. You know, yeah, it does upset businesses. You know, I'm a business owner. I could see where frustration would come. But at the end of the day, everyone's health is more important than some dollars.
What type of business do you have, John?
Construction supply. So I do freeway expansions and residential developments all across the nation and the mainland.
Interesting. Okay. So, you know, we're talking about the governor. She was the first to do it. It is by far the strictest. Others may follow suit. But essentially, the entire island is on lockdown. In fact, during the day, you can only leave home to go to the grocery store, a hospital, or a bank. That is it. Like, they cleared the beaches today, all that kind of stuff. You know, it's only day one, so I realize, you know, it's not like you have cabin fever yet. But, I mean, do you feel a little cooped up?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Me personally, I'm in a pretty big house on a pretty big property, so I'm not too much cooped up. But you know, at the end of the day, people can use this time to better themselves or better the relationships with their family. You know, everything happens for a reason, so why not look at the positive side of it? You know.
I love the optimism. Do you live by yourself?
I do.
The reason I ask is because I just interviewed a woman who lives with her 97-year-old father and her mother, her 90-year-old dad and her mother who's in her 70s, and she stays 6 feet away from them in the house because she lives in New York City. She's currently going outside right now, and of course she's afraid of bringing something home to them. So it dawned on me, there are actually people who are social distancing within their home.
Yeah, that's you know, it's just me and my little baby girl and my dog. So no, we don't have that problem. But I could only imagine, man. I could only imagine.
Good for you, man. Well, listen, I hope you come to love the island as much as I do. I'm sure
Oh,
you will.
absolutely. And one thing before you end, I just want to say thank you so much. Since I've been in the island, you have been so informative, and honestly, you're I would say the number one leader of Puerto Rico with all your info. You keep everyone up to date with current and valid information, and that's all props to you. I just want to say you do a really great job.
It means a lot. I thank you, and I love to hear the Koki behind you, John. I wish you all my best.
Thank you. Take care, David. Wish
Okay,
you the
bye
same.
bye.
Bye.
All right, so let's please don't eat the remote, David. This is the Tourette's in me that always has to have like a little fidgety thing, you know? Like, you know that person you sit by that's always clicking their pen? This is like I have to have something in my hand. Always fidgeting with something. All right, let's see. Got somebody else, Miss Torres. Let's see if we can get her on here.
Oh my God, hi.
Hello, Miss Torres. Where do you live?
I live in Wisconsin, but I'm from Puerto Rico, actually, from Aguadilla.
Aguadilla. Okay. So tell me, what is your new normal now?
So I'm a medical interpreter for the UW Hospital here in Madison, Wisconsin. I'm a freelancer, actually. I have been doing it for 7 years, and they sent me home today. Pretty much everything in UW is like closed, so clinics and everything. They just have like the ER and the inpatient units. So they want to keep their protective equipment, you know, so they were like, no, we are using like iPad interpreters and phone interpreters, so you guys are going home. So
Are they going to pay you while you're at home indefinitely?
no, they won't actually.
Oh, because you're freelance.
Because I'm a freelance, correct.
Oh.
So I call my family today in Puerto Rico crying, like, I don't know what I'm going to do because I was in vacations in Puerto Rico in February. So I kind of spent my savings over there. But, well.
Do you live alone? Do you have kids?
I do have kids. I have a 13-year-old special needs child. He's here at home.
Okay.
And I have a college student. She is in her apartment right now.
Okay.
And I have this little boy here.
Oh, that's sweet. So tell me, you know, how much money would you have to last on?
So, probably a couple $1,000, and that's it. And, you know, I pay $500 in, $1,500 in rent. So it is just what I have. It is what it is. I work as a phone interpreter sometimes, but like that, I get paid like 30 days later after I send my invoice. So,
you know, I'm thinking, you know, we're still waiting on the Congress to get their act together and pass something that could result in unemployment benefits or something. You know, there may be a state benefit, you know, so you should be hearing, you know, my heart skipped a beat when I heard you say a couple $1,000s is what you have, right? Like,
yes.
That's not going to get you very far.
That's
But again, there should be, I mean, every day it seems like big things are happening. So that could be coming down the pike, right? Something at the federal level and something at the state level that would help somebody like you.
I'm just, you know, praying for that. I actually feel safe here at home that I'm not gonna get my kids sick or myself sick, but I'm still, you know, super worried about not having money for next month. But I'm just sitting and praying. That's all we can do. We cannot escape from this planet. So it is the reality. If you wanna.
I've not heard anybody say that, but that's so true. There's no exit door.
No exit door.
But you know what? We're going to be okay. I believe it in my heart. We have nothing to base this on or compare it to. We are going to be okay. Okay? We're gonna be okay. Look, people are asking me if you have a GoFundMe page that you've already set up.
No, not really.
Oh, GoFundMe. Yeah, but the reason why is because it's like it's just happening. Like it just happened. Like some people probably haven't had time.
Oh, I lost you.
set up a GoFundMe page, you know?
Well, let's see. Eventually, if I need like help, I will just try to reach people. But at this point, I'm just praying that everything will be just fine and God will provide. And, you know, let's see.
My very best to you.
Thank you, David. And I just want to tell you that in 2017, when Hurricane Maria hit the island, you were my only contact with my family. And I'm just so glad that I can tell you right now in person, thank you. Thank you for what you do. And you should actually go for governor. You will win. We love you, David.
I received the love and I thank you. And I share it right back to you.
Thank you. Big kiss.
I thank you. Good night.
Good night. You too. Bye-bye.
Okay. I love hearing from you guys. I'm telling you, I could do this all night long. And we got a whole bunch of people in the queue here who want to jump in. So let's go speak to Matt. Oh, Matt, my colleague, Matt. Oh, this is my colleague. Matt. Okay, guys, he's on the radio, so he'll talk to us in just a second. Okay, so this is kind of cool. So Matt is working at CBS Radio.
In the United States, there are 85 reported deaths from the coronavirus. CBS News Update, I'm Matt Piper. Hello there.
That was so cool. Like, all of Instagram is watching you.
I was like, maybe he'll accept me while I'm on live. And there we were.
How cool is that?
Hello there. What a sad. I watched your story with that woman. That was so sad.
Yeah. What you got? Tell us your story.
So I'm in Washington. On Wednesday, as you know, a bunch of us got the call to leave New York.
Yes.
So about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it was when they started to hear that people were getting it in the offices. So I hopped on a train, a 5 o'clock train. I was on the air here by 9 o'clock. And I've been here ever since. And I only packed a bag for a couple days, and it's now going on a week. So I went and bought some clothes today. But this is my first time in the Washington Bureau. So I'm essentially in a room here. And then we have TVs set up, and that's a window, even though it's dark out.
Nice.
And that was just the 8:30. We will work on the 9 o'clock now, where we have friends like Ben Tracy coming up, Ed O'Keefe, Jill Schlesinger, to update people on the radio about what's going on.
You know, Matt, we were just hearing Miss Torres, and you know, my heart breaks for, you know, she's a freelance, she's got a special needs child, and there she is in Wisconsin with $2,000 to hold her over. You and I are lucky. We have a job. They are paying us. But it occurred to me, my agent actually called me today, and he said, David, none of our clients are working except our news clients. And news is one of those jobs that even in a time like this, you and I are. Do you have to go on?
No, it's okay.
You and I are still
talking
working.
I can hear you.
It just occurred to me that, like, we're almost one of those essential jobs that keeps going, you know?
I know, it's true. And when she said freelance, I thought when I started at CBS, I was a freelancer. Yeah. And so many people right now are working from home, or maybe are not being asked to work. And I instantly thought of our colleagues, a lot of who are freelance. When she said that word, I was like, oh my God, imagine if you were still freelance, because people across the country are. Unfortunately, it's just it's the way that we live right now.
Listen, your parents are okay? Are they inside their house?
They are. I'm from Jersey. They're in South Carolina. They were down there they have a place down there, and I've been updating them, and they've been kind of playing it cool. So one of my friends in the military, who's one of those always ready type of people, I did this. We got on a 3-way call on FaceTime last night, and I was like, Mike, tell my parents how serious this is, because they're around other older. I mean, my parents are in their early 70s, but they're in very, very good health. But they were kind of, there was a parade yesterday that was canceled, but people still went in Myrtle Beach. So my friend got on and was like, listen, like, you really, like, people are around your age are going to die. Look at what happened in Italy. We're like a week or two behind them. and you really have to hunker down and be serious. And I think that they got a little more serious.
Well,
You heard that?
it's interesting to hear you say that, because like my dad, I think in a way rolled his eyes in the beginning, like, oh, this is la 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 la. And I talked to my mom today, and I was like, is he still singing that ridiculous song, so to speak? And she's like, oh no, he's, you know. And listen, I love my dad, and he'll never see this to get mad at me anyway. But the whole
Neither will
point
mine. It's okay. We're not on social media.
There's a lot of us watching right now that may have had that conversation with our parents, like, you don't get it. You don't get it. And we're not trying to cause panic here. We're telling you exactly what the medical experts are saying.
Yeah, exactly. And then every time, you know, Trump or Pence has been on TV, I text them like, turn on your TV now, because they're updating the world as to what's happening. And I think the more and more things have closed, the more serious it's getting for them. Like one of my mom's friends found out yesterday that school is going to be closed for more than a month. And my mom was like, what? And I was like, this is how serious it is. Every hour, it's truly changing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Matt, McDonald's, I just tweeted out that McDonald's, by the way, anyone driving, they're stopping close of business today in the U.S., only drive-through or pickup.
Only drive-through. Okay. If people want to listen to you, where do they go?
CBS News Radio. So our app is a little funky right now because no one's in New York to, you know, make it work, essentially. But there's CBS radio affiliates all over the country, 600 or so of them, where they can hear you all the time and me as well. We just did the World News Roundup at 7 Eastern, which is kind of like the CBS Evening News on the radio. And every half hour we're on CBS stations around the country. At the top of the hour, at 8 p.m. Eastern, it'll be 5 minutes long. And that's it. So there we go.
Smooth, silky voice. Thank you, Matt Piper.
Thank you, and keep doing what you're doing. So hearing the stories is really important.
Thank you, my brother. Have a good night. Thanks so much for joining in.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Okay, everybody. So if you're watching and you just joined us, we are basically sharing stories. This is like a group therapy session. We talking to each other, right? And there's a whole lot of people who want to join in. So I'm going to get to as many as I can because I don't have any other plans. Hello, Ivan.
Oh, how are you, Mr. Begnaud?
I'm good. How are you, sir?
You know, hanging in there, surviving. It's been tough.
Where are you in the world?
Puerto Rico.
Okay, where on the island?
The area, the San Juan area, in Atorrey, close to the university.
Okay, so right now it is 8:30 in Puerto Rico. The curfew goes into effect at 9 p.m., but essentially you can't even go out during the day unless you're going to the supermarket, the doctor, or the bank. So
that is true.
Tell me what your day has been like, sort of holed up in the house. Did you go out? Did you need to get anything?
Well, I'll be honest with you, sir. I did go to the doctor because I had to do some x-rays because I was looking for a job. I have been unemployed for a month and 2 days. I made a very conscious decision because my mother and I have a Section 8 from the government. And my mother lost her job in 2017 before the hurricanes. She used to work for the Institute of Puerto Rican Culture in Old San Juan. And after 8.5 years, she lost her job. I was working at that time for the, oh my God, I'm trying to remember, for the Performing Arts Center where they had Hamilton.
Yes.
And
Yes. Centre de Bellas Artes.
That is correct, sir.
Yes.
And sadly, last year, my contract was not renewed. And after 4.5 years working under contract, I lost my job. And for a month, I didn't have a job. And then I got a job working with Claro Communications. And I was working full time. But because of Section 8, and also I have a medical insurance from the government plus food stamps, because of my income, my mother and I were going to pay full for our rent. We were going to pay $662, and I made the decision on Valentine's Day to quit my job, which was the hardest thing I had to go through, but I had no choice because I had to save my mother's roof, and she's 72 years old. She's also diabetic. She's got also she has osteoarthritis, and I've taken care of her. I've become, you know, her caretaker. A caretaker, which has been very hard for me. And and I was very active doing the protestings last year. And I have friends. I have a friend of mine who's a huge fan of yours. She loves your work. She's a huge fan.
So let me ask you something, Ivan. How much food do you have at the house? Like, what are you prepared for? Because this could go on for a while.
Yes.
This will go on for a while.
Yeah, this will go on for a while. We have food stamps, and we've been able to do some grocery shopping. I went to get my x-rays to check out if I had any problems in my lungs, but everything came back negative. Everything is good.
Good, good.
Yeah, I had to pay $20 because my medical coverage wouldn't cover me, and I was for a job working part-time at Subway because I cannot work a full-time, and which is horrifying for me because right now I only have like a month so I can pay my my cell phone, and after that I don't know when I'm gonna get more money because I was gonna work at Subway, but they told me we're not signing any contracts till April 1st. On a part-time basis because I cannot work a full-time. If it was for me, I would work a full-time. The problem is it's not going to happen while I'm under Section 8. I was able to save my mother's roof. We're going to pay a lot less by May 1st, but there's a lot of uncertainty. And I've been looking for work on Indeed.com, going to interviews nonstop. It's been a very difficult time for me. And also I've been struggling with my health because I'm pre-diabetic, but I have the symptoms from diabetes, and I'm 32 years old. I'm a young guy. It's been hard. It's been
you
very,
are a
very
young
hard.
guy, but listen, I'm appreciative that you shared your story. I'm thinking of you and your mother, and I'm glad y'all are together. Make sure you practice social distancing because listen, she is elderly, and every time you go out, there is a chance if you were to catch it, you could bring it back home. So please, please wash your hands, keep your distance from her, even in the home. That is what's being recommended, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes,
all right.
sir. I've been doing that. I'm washing my hands.
Nice to meet you, Ivan.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. I'm great admirers, and thank you so much for reporting what's really going on here because you have been an inspiration, and definitely I got nothing but respect for you, sir. Thank you.
Well, I thank you, Ivan. Good luck.
Thank you.
Stay hopeful. Okay.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Always. Bye-bye.
Okay, so let's keep going. Chloe. Waiting for Chloe.
Hello.
Hello, Chloe. Where are you in the world?
I am currently right now in Greenville, South Carolina, but I'm originally from Dorado, Puerto Rico.
Dorado. Okay, so tell me what your world was like today.
Well, today was the first day of work online, so work is officially closed. I actually work for the University of South Carolina. I'm a first-generation master's student, so I'm getting my master's in public health, which is very
great,
convenient.
Yeah.
I'm going to be an epidemiologist at the end of next year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So this is everything that's going on is what I'm trying to be a part of in the future to prevent things like this from happening again. So
tell me what life is like in Greenville in terms of restrictions, can't do this, can't do that. What is the situation?
So right now I'm in Greenville. I was originally in Columbia for school. School is located in Columbia, South Carolina. Columbia itself is pretty much main campus. So that is officially on lockdown. No students are allowed on campus at all. I was not allowed at work, so I was not able to set up for my work and everything. It was a mess. We are still allowed to go to the stores. We are still allowed to leisurely go out. It doesn't seem like anyone's pretty nervous. The stores are definitely empty of supplies, especially cleaning supplies, but it's fairly normal. But you can tell that there's a feeling in the air of a little bit of concern for sure.
Let me ask you something, because walking around New York City, things feel a little kinder. A little nicer. Sure. Like not agitated, not as rude, not as selfish.
Right.
Like, do you feel? Well, the South is nice to begin with, but
yes.
Does it feel different just in the human interaction?
Yeah. Yeah. Like today, for example, I went to Costco. I love Costco, but I get gas at Costco all the time. Just the people there are constantly cleaning the nozzles. And they have a conversation with you. They're constantly cleaning, keeping track. And even Went to Target today, shared a cart with someone. We had a talk about everything that's going on. So everyone's I think everyone's trying to talk about it, trying to sort of ease the tense energy around it.
Yeah.
Because it is a very tough time right now. So
I want to start asking this question to everybody.
Mhm.
Are you afraid?
A little. I live here in Greenville with my 82-year-old grandmother. I cannot leave the house, so I am just staying home. We've completely filled up the fridge. Everyone's right now sort of definitely social distancing for sure. I keep promoting that to everyone I come across. But we are definitely just hunkering down here at home because I don't want to risk anything happening to my grandmother.
And you probably already know this, but because you are leaving and coming home,
Mm-hmm.
you should practice social distancing with her in the home.
Mm-hmm.
In the home. That's
Mm-hmm.
recommended because you have no symptoms, right?
Mm-mm.
And you haven't been tested, but you could still have it and be shedding the virus.
Mm-hmm.
So just be mindful of that. As you come home, clean your clothes, take it off outside, wipe. And, you know, I talked to a woman tonight who's a CNN producer. Her father's 90, her mother's in her 70s. And she said, I stay 6 feet away from them in the house at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, they're worried. I want to hug them. I want to hold their hand. But she's so worried because we know what it can do to people that age. So just be mindful of that.
Mm-hmm. But I'll definitely keep that in mind, and I'm hoping that everyone stays safe out there, and we'll get through this for sure.
We will. I believe it too. And I'm glad your grandma's not alone. So
Yes.
nice to meet you. And
nice to meet you too.
are you going to go back to Puerto Rico, you think?
Oh, I hope. We had plans. I had plans to actually go May.
No. I
Unfortunately-
mean to live. Like,
Oh,
as a
to live.
physiologist,
Oh.
after that's done.
You know, it's all out there at the moment. I'm right now
Okay.
considering just CDC. That's what I'm considering right now. But yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
But Puerto Rico is definitely, my parents want to retire there. So if that's where everyone's going, I'll definitely at any point in my career want to help Puerto Rico.
Making PR proud.
Yes.
Nice
Thank
to talk.
you.
Nice to talk to you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Okay, love. Good night.
Bye.
All right. So here we go. Lots of people. Here we go. David Hamilton. Firing up Mr. Hamilton.
Yeah.
Hello, David Hamilton.
Yeah, that's me. How are you?
I'm good. Where are you in the world?
I'm in Isabela, Puerto Rico, the northwest of the island.
Okay. So
Yeah.
tell me what your day was like.
Well, it's a bit surreal, you can say.
Yeah.
So originally I'm from Northern Ireland. I came out to Puerto Rico in 2008, fell in love with a girl, got married in 2012, so I've been here since then. So, of course, I've been through, Hurricane Maria, Category 5 hurricane, then the earthquake, and now this whole, virus spreading around in the quarantine. So it's been an interesting, I would say it's more processing it mentally, the few people driving past still. It's kind of hard because, you often read about all this on the news somewhere else in the world. It's happening somewhere else. It's never going to touch me. And then all of a sudden, here it is, and you're experiencing it. So we're on an extremely tight lockdown. Originally, I was confused. I thought it was only from 9 to 5 a.m. And then all of a sudden, once the written stuff came out, it was, oh, wait a second, we're not supposed to go out at all. So, yeah, that's been tough.
And for everybody watching, just to understand what David is saying, is the governor of Puerto Rico was the first compared to the other territory governors or the governors of the states to declare a complete and total lockdown and shutdown of the island. Literally 24 hours a day. Well, first of all, between 9 p.m. and 5 a.m., you can't do anything. But between 5 a.m. and 9 p.m., you may only leave your home if you are going to the pharmacy, the doctor, the supermarket, the bank, or the airport. That's it. That's it. So, what's your job, and what are you going to do for the next? I mean, I don't know. The president of the United States said this could go to July, August. Now the governor can change her order, but this could go for months. What are you planning?
Yeah. So my wife and my wife's a dietitian, nutritionist, and we have our own business together.
Okay.
So that's been affected, even though technically she's a medical professional and is exempt. You know, nobody wants to be coming out to visit a medical office. Right. And, you know, my wife sees typically patients with all of the key factors, hypertension, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and typically the more elderly community. So none of those people want to be coming out. And one of the issues that we're trying to clarify is whether the insurance companies here in Puerto Rico are going to allow all of their patients who are insured to be able to use telehealth so that my wife can give her services from the home, and those vulnerable people, you know, don't have to risk exposing themselves to the virus by going out traveling somewhere else. Now, originally, like in the past, that hasn't been allowed. Telehealth with dietitians is not allowed. The insurance companies won't pay you to see, you know, people who are on their insurance plans if you use telehealth. So we're hoping that changes, because it's like what you said, this could go on a very long time. So how long is that, you know, those necessities of those patients going to be, you know, hampered? Like they're not going to be able to go to see a dietitian.
So let me tell you what I'm going to do. Telehealth. I'm writing this down right now. Tomorrow morning, so everyone knows, I am interviewing the acting head of the health department in Puerto Rico. It's a woman who just took over because the former health secretary was fired over his handling of this. So I'm going to ask her tomorrow about that, because you're absolutely right. Now the other reality, Mr. Hamilton, is that some of your wife's patients may not have access to the type of device that would be needed, and so that's just another reality. But let me make a note there to ask the health secretary about that, because the CDC and the U.S. government has already advised telehealth type stuff like this, and so
exactly,
and the Puerto Rico government want to do it. So I'm going to ask about it tomorrow.
I appreciate that. And this is my wife here.
Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
You too. You too.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing, and that will be great help, because we have a group of dietitians that are very concerned about our patients.
Yep.
And right now we are just on a loop trying to figure out what can we do for them, because we do have electronic records. Like, for example, I do have a platform that's HIPAA compliant that I can be able to do these consultations. So we'll see.
Yeah. Let me ask, because that's a great idea. So
I would appreciate that.
And then I will post the interview tomorrow, and that will be one of the questions I ask. Okay. And listen, you know, here's how it may start. She may say, yes, we are, or I can look into that. So we may not get an answer tomorrow, but let me at least plant the seed that gets the ball rolling.
Thank you so much.
That's great. We appreciate that, David.
Of course.
Very much.
My best to both of you.
Thank you. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So here we go. Next. Sony. Firing up Sony. Well, hello. Hi. What is your name?
Oh, my name is Sony.
Sony. I wasn't sure how it was pronounced. Where are you in the world?
It's Sony Linda. I'm in Puerto Rico, in the capital. This is my husband.
Hi. Hi.
Hi.
So you guys are in San Juan. Husband, what's your name?
Vincent. My name's Vincent Nieves.
Vincent. Okay. So tell me you guys' story. I mean, this is the sort of what's the first full day of the complete lockdown. So what was it like?
Well, for me, I had to go to work.
Okay. What do you do?
Bank. I'm
Okay.
a lawyer. Basically, we had some plan A, plan B, plan C, even, and we wanted to see like which one was gonna apply, but nobody actually expected. This was on Friday. Nobody actually expected that the governor was gonna take such drastic measures right away. So today was pretty much, we had to go to figure out how to choose.
You broke up there for just a minute. You said we had to go to figure out how to
act, because we had a couple scenarios played out, but we thought we were going to have until Monday to figure out how we were going to actually proceed.
And what do you do at the bank?
I work at the legal department. Basically,
Okay.
I have just any, like, embargoes.
She works with verification of deposits, any orders from the court from New
Yeah.
Jersey, Chicago, and Florida.
Got it. Got it.
I'm here.
So you guys are considered an essential service, so you can remain open. Were you busy today? Were there a lot of people coming in?
We were actually quite busy. Yeah. Especially because we were trying to figure out how to separate the team, how to see if we could actually work remote. So we had to strategize and find computers to go ahead and send people home. But I'm one of the exceptions because I've been working there for only a month. So basically they don't know how to, I'm still in training. So they don't know whether I should stay or I should be sent home. And it's been really kind of a mess trying to figure out how to deal with this, because nobody's been through this before. I mean, we've been through hurricanes and earthquakes, but this is a complete lockdown.
Right. So Vincent, what do you do?
Well, I'm also a lawyer. I work in Sanders Phillips Grossman law firm. I'm basically a case management attorney for product liability cases.
Okay.
So it's not essential work. So the office was closed today, and we were asked to. They were pondering to see if we could work remotely. But since it was like a surprise order from the governor,
Yeah.
we didn't really prepare to work remotely. We didn't
Right.
think maybe in a week or maybe 2 weeks they were going to do that. So.
And how does it work? And how does it work? Because all court cases in Puerto Rico have been postponed, Supreme Court, local court. So, I mean, is there really work for you to do?
Yeah, because the cases that we work are all in the United States.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it.
They're all in the federal courts over there.
Well, and the reality is that could shut down
Yep.
too. Tell me what life has been like. So aside from work, what is life like where you are?
Well, we live in an apartment building,
Yep.
and basically you don't see anybody around. At least in our condominium, people are behaving.
Yeah.
They're trying to do their best. Where we live, particularly, we're concerned because there's a major group of elderly people.
Yeah.
So it's kind of scary because you hear these stories of people that don't have symptoms, that are young, and they kind of don't know, like, if they have it.
Yeah.
And I think for us, we've been actually, before the order, we've been on lockdown since Friday.
Yeah, it's called shedding. So people who are asymptomatic could still be shedding the virus, and that's when you can pass it along to someone who is elderly. And my real concern is the healthcare system in Puerto Rico is vulnerable as it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it is so delicate, and there is a large elderly population on the island. So we really got to look out for them. So I'm glad y'all are. It's nice to meet you both. I like meeting young people who are on the island doing. Are y'all originally from there, by the way?
Yeah.
I love that.
We're
Well,
trying to make it here.
Yeah.
it's a joy to meet you both.
Yeah, you too. Take care, and I hope that you don't have anything, and I wish you so much health, and thank you for
Thank you
everything
so much
do.
for everything you do. We follow you every day.
Yeah.
I thank you both. It was a real pleasure to meet you. Good luck to y'all.
Bye.
Thank you.
Be safe.
Okay, bye-bye. Sony and Vincent. Okay, so here we go. Onward. Next. Please get tested. Look, I want to get tested, but the reality is I'm not going to get tested because I don't want to take away a test from someone else. That's my concern. So I am going to call my doctor, and if there is a way for me to do it without, taking a test from somebody else, I'll do it. Here we go. Here we go. I'm really enjoying this.
Hello.
Hi, what's your name? Hi.
Natalia, but you can call me Nat.
Okay. Hi, Nat. Your signal is not the best. I can't
Oh,
see
sorry.
you.
It's just the light. Sorry.
Oh, the
Okay,
light.
oh, wait.
Okay. And
Oh, wait,
why
sorry.
don't you wipe your camera? You're very blurry.
Sorry.
No,
sorry.
that's okay. That's okay. All right, so let's do it anyway. Where are you in the world, love?
I am from Aguas Buenas, Puerto Rico. And,
Where, Puerto Rico? Where?
and Aguas Buenas.
Aguas Buenas, of course. Okay, so tell me what your day was like.
Honestly, it's been pretty chill. It was pretty interesting because I never experienced something like this before.
Yeah.
But it's pretty chill. Pretty chill.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So are you working from home?
Actually, I am a student.
Okay, good. So student. So what about
Yeah.
classes? Are y'all doing classes remotely?
Not yet. I haven't started classes yet. I mean, tomorrow I start doing work.
Okay. Are you in college?
No, I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore.
A 10th grader.
Oh, you're so articulate. I pegged you for a college student. So
No,
okay,
no.
so,
It's just classes and stuff, but it's okay.
well, no, but like be proud of that. I'm impressed by your maturity.
Oh, thank you.
But tell me what the situation is going to be. Has the school told you what's going to happen? Like, will you be able to log on and go through classes?
They're gonna send us work, and from there we do work. Aside from the school, they have given us, the whole thing about the coronavirus, how it's gonna be, and the cases and stuff. And I was pretty informed about it, but it wasn't. What is it? I was prepared that it was gonna come to Puerto Rico.
Okay, so you believe that they'll get you fired up and running, and you'll go ahead and do the class stuff via online.
Yes.
Awesome, love it. Hey, listen, thank you for weighing in from Aguas Buenas. Good to meet you, and good luck.
Nice to meet you, and I hope you have a good night, David.
Thank you, love. You too. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, this college education, I mean, the high school and college for that matter, is a real thing. So many people are trying to figure out how to get online. Teachers are trying to figure out how to get their classrooms all set up. Some are using Google Classroom. I talked to one student who lived in New York City who felt like she was more focused today. Hi.
Hi,
What's your name?
I'm Maria.
Maria, where do you live?
Humacao, Puerto
Oh
Rico.
my God. Okay. How old are you? Oop. Okay. Don't know what that was about. Let's see, get somebody else. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. What is your name?
Janalise,
Janalise. Nice to meet you. Where are you in the world?
Guaynabo, Puerto Rico.
Guaynabo. Tell me what your day was like, love.
Basically, I'm a teacher. I'm a law teacher. I work in the Catholic University in the south of the island.
Okay.
So I work over there with a lot of students.
Okay. So tell me, are you going to be able to teach remotely? Are y'all set up
Yes.
for that?
Basically, our institution just we got a meeting on Friday, just making sure how we will work remotely, because since Thursday they announced we were going remote this Wednesday, next the 18th.
Yeah.
So with the order from yesterday, well, everything got faster to today. So basically, most of my colleagues and I in the university just started to get in touch with our students through different platforms. The basic distance platform for the university, and also Zoom and other type of platforms, so we can make sure they get their classes so they don't lose the semester. The university is very concerned and aware that if we don't do this, there is gonna be some consequences for our students. So they are very hands-on, working and making sure the students get their classes online. So they already, for the courses that are present in the university, they just today upload those classes on the online platform. So the regular teachers that used to go in a classroom to teach, we can do right now through our online platform.
Awesome. And personally, how are you doing? You got enough groceries? You stocked up?
Yes, we have grocery. I live with both of my parents. My brother got here from Spain last week. He studied abroad. He's doing well. No symptoms at the moment.
Good. So
But
you're living in the same house as your parents?
Yes.
Okay. Social distancing, are you doing that?
Not consciously, but unconsciously. I spend my whole day doing some work online in my office here.
Okay.
My parents do like landscaping in the backyard and anything. So we don't spend a lot of time together in the same place in the house.
Yeah, because one of the doctors from the White House who's involved in the Corona Task Force, Dr. Burke, said today, even in our homes, we should be social distancing because we don't want to get your parents sick.
No.
So just be mindful of that. Listen, let me ask you one more question before I say goodnight.
Okay.
Are you afraid?
At some point, my father is a 65-year-old renal failure patient waiting for a transplant in dialysis. So I'm most worried for him than for me or not that much for my mom. She's 66, and she has some conditions, but not that sick as my dad. So for them, yeah, that is why I try to be far away from them most of the day, like doing something else and not being in the same place for a long time.
Now, what about your brother? Is he quarantined away from them?
Basically, he spent a lot of time. He's getting some classes.
They recommend at least 14 days for. So if
Yes.
you came from Spain with all those cases they have there, it might be a good idea to self-quarantine for 14 days.
Yeah, but he's doing some quarantine. He's getting his online classes also. They are studying abroad through the internet.
Right.
So he needs to get up and do his online classes. So he spent most of his day in another room and everything.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, nice to meet you, and thanks for sharing your story.
You too. Take care too.
Take care. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Social distancing in the home, y'all. They said that. Be mindful of that. Social distancing in the home. Very important. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
Hi, David.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. I don't think you remember me, but I have met you before.
I do vaguely. Where did we meet?
We met talking through Instagram, just like right now.
Okay, because I remember the face. Remind me your name.
My name is Adriana.
Adriana, and where are you in the world?
I am in Santurce, Puerto Rico.
Santurce. Okay, how was your day? The big question that we're doing this whole for, the same question for everybody. What was your new normal day like today?
Well, today my day today was pretty chill, but it was a little stressful at the same time because up until today, my school hadn't decided if we were going to give online classes or online work to the students. And we found out like 2 hours ago that we're postponing classes until approximately March 31st, April the 1st, depending on how the situation goes, which means that the semester is going to be stretched out. And I'm a teacher, and I give class to seniors, and my seniors are not happy at all.
Yeah. That means graduation slides.
Yeah, probably. They have the opportunity to, they always end a little bit earlier than the rest of the school. But I don't know if that's going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
Sincerely.
And there's not there wasn't a way to do it remotely, like
Well,
online stuff?
there was. Me personally, I have a platform that I use with all of my classes that kind of works similar to Google Classroom, but the problem is that not many of us in the school actually do that.
Right.
And some of the teachers, I guess they didn't want to like learn in a flash or do something, at least, you know, have them have something. So they decided to postpone.
Okay, so tell me about Adriana's life personally. Do you have enough groceries? I mean, you're going to be inside the house for a long time, my friend.
I do. I did grocery shopping before any of this craziness began.
Yep.
And I have, I think, enough to survive the 2 weeks. Perhaps I might have to leave at a certain point, but I do have a tiny little supermarket that's like 2 blocks away from my apartment.
Okay.
That I can just buy, I don't know, bananas, plantains, avocado, something that might, you know, I can make lots of dishes with one thing, you know?
Right, absolutely. Social distancing.
I live by myself, so I'm good.
You keep plenty of distance from yourself.
Yep.
Listen,
and my
it's
plants
nice.
can't get sick, so.
All right, it's nice to hear from you.
It's nice to see you again too, and I'm so happy you remembered me.
I remember that. It's hard to forget that face. Look how sweet.
Aww.
Nice to see you again. Please be safe. If you don't get sick, you could still have it and give it to someone else. Please be mindful of that.
I am washing my hands all the time. Don't worry, I'm being safe.
Good. My very best to you.
You too. I hope you come back soon after all this craziness.
Amen. Amen. Goodbye.
Bye.
I forgot to ask her if she's afraid. The reason I'm asking everyone if they're afraid is to not suggest you should be afraid, but to have a conversation if you are, and to hear you and to listen. I'm not a therapist, but sometimes when we talk about our fears, sometimes it has a way of making us feel better, right? When you talk about it. So that is a reason why I'm just asking folks, are you afraid? All right, here we go.
Yo, how are you, David?
I'm well. What's your name, sir?
My name is Joshua Leone. We're
Hello,
out here
Josh.
in Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh. Tell me what your day was like, the new normal.
So currently, the update, Pittsburgh, all restaurants and bars are currently closed.
Okay.
As of last night for 2 weeks, and it's pretty much ghost town. Right now, I go to Point Park University. We just got an email confirming that we all do have to leave by April 3rd, no later than that. So kids are frantic, running around, packing. I actually have a flight back home tomorrow to Orlando. So, yeah.
What school?
This is Point Park University here in Pittsburgh.
Point Park. Okay, so you got to be out by the 3rd.
Yeah.
So you are gonna go home.
Yeah, I leave tomorrow, and everyone else is trying to gather their stuff together.
All right. Okay. And when you go home, you're going to your folks' house?
Yeah, back home in Orlando. Yeah.
All right. And you don't feel sick? Have you been around anybody who had the virus?
No, I have not. No, it just got northern Pennsylvania not too long ago.
Yep.
It hit us like kind of like last, but no cases close to us over here, thank God.
So let me ask you a question I've asked a couple of people. Are you afraid in any way?
Yes and no. Yes, like, I don't know, just take proper precautions, I guess. Wash your hands. You know, I feel like if everyone just quarantines themselves, relax, you know,
Yep.
stay inside and not be crazy or dumb, I feel like it'll pass, you know. So I feel like yes and no, but overall.
Look, good advice, but settle in for a long haul. I mean, we don't know. It could be 6-8 weeks. It could be 4 months. So
Exactly. So I shout out to law enforcement and all of those who are helping out. Both my parents are. So amen to them, the people who are in the front lines. Also, people who are catering, who are still working at like Walmart, Target to supply us with these needs. We thank you guys. If you're live, I just want to take that second to give them a shout out. So
I'm so glad you did. Thanks for jumping on, man.
All right, thank you, David. Have a good night.
You too, bud. Have a safe trip home to Florida.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, shout out to every single essential type of person. Oh man, thanks to y'all. I mean, folks who are stocking the grocery shelves, who are delivering the groceries to the store so they can be put on the shelves. Hi,
David.
what's your name?
Hi, I'm Antonio from Massachusetts.
Antonio, I feel like we've talked before.
No, I don't think we have.
Oh, you have? Okay, you just have a familiar face.
Okay.
Where are you in the world?
I am in Holyoke, Massachusetts, but I'm from Jalco, Puerto Rico originally.
Whoa. Where are you?
Holyoke, Massachusetts. Holyoke, Mass.
Oh, Massachusetts.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I didn't understand you, but you're from Jalco.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, I just got to Jalco, I guess it was a couple months ago, right? For the earthquakes?
Yes, I was there for the earthquake.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, the southwestern part of the island, it was stunning. It was stunning.
The houses and all the colored houses and everything.
Oh my
Beautiful.
God! When you come up and all those colored houses in Jalco up on the hill,
it's beautiful.
Oh, it was fabulous. In fact, I just talked to your mayor today. He reached out to me. There's a situation with the housing. They're not going to get the money that they were told they were going to get. So I told him, Mr. Mayor, I'm up to my ears. And I said, but this is an important issue, and I'll get to it. So shout out to the mayor, Luigi Torres. So. Okay, tell me what your day of new normal was like.
Well, I'm an exchange student from University of Puerto Rico.
Okay.
Currently, I'm studying at UMass.
Okay.
I've been at UMass since spring 2019.
Okay.
My plan was to return back to Puerto Rico in December 2019. I was back in Jalco for those few first weeks, experienced the earthquakes and everything, and decided to come back to Mass because my parents live here. And I was, alone in Jalco, feeling all that stress and pressure and uncertainty being alone. So I came back to Mass. And so I had plans the spring break this week to return to Puerto Rico. But I canceled those because of the uncertainty of going through 2 airports, an enclosed airplane. And I did not want to risk my grandparents who are still there. So I decided to stay,
Good idea.
I've been self-quarantining here since Friday. Haven't left the house at all. Yeah.
Listen, man, you are an example of what people should be doing. You're not flying home because Lord knows, what you may be susceptible to getting from, Mass to Puerto Rico.
Exactly.
And your grandparents don't need anybody coming around them who may have something.
Yep.
Now,
definitely.
you said your parents live with you in Mass?
Yes. They moved from Puerto Rico in 2018 because of the economic crisis in Puerto Rico, looking for new jobs, new opportunities. So and the reason I did exchange in Mass was to be with them for a few months, help them with the move and everything, and then head back to Puerto Rico.
So what about the schooling? Have they not canceled the exchange because the UPR system shut down everything?
Yes,
so
yes.
what's the status of your program?
Well, when this was all still uncertain, UPR sent an email saying, if you were planning on returning, let us know. We can set you up at a different campus at UPR where they do trimesters. Starting in April. And honestly, my plans was, because UMass canceled their classes completely online. They're doing everything online now.
Yeah.
My plan was to go back to Puerto Rico and finish online classes there in Puerto Rico, being with my friends, experience the island that haven't been around for almost a year and a half.
Yeah, you miss it.
So yeah, so that canceled. So my plan is to do my remote learning here in Mass.
Now, you guys, I don't know what just happened. I think Instagram literally kicked me off because I was on there for too long. So my apologies to the young man I was just interviewing, but Instagram kicked me off. I think we went too long. I think that was Instagram's way of saying, hey, you're out of here. You're hoarding the system. So I believe his name was Josh in Massachusetts. Josh, if you are back on, that was not intentional. Instagram literally just kicked me out. So let me see if I can get Josh back on. I apologize again if you're all joining. We were on for a good, I don't know, how long we've been talking? 20 minutes? Was it longer than 20 minutes? And Instagram just said, nope, you got to get off. Okay, now why is it not letting me click the button? Okay, here we go. Is Josh there? No, I don't see Josh. Where's Josh? Oh, wait, maybe. Is that Josh? Is this Josh? Am I wrong? This might be him. This might be him. Ah!
Hi.
Instagram literally kicked me off. Like, you're done.
I was wondering what just happened.
You're out of here. Your name's Josh, right?
No, it's Tony. It's Tony.
Tony. Why did I get Josh?
I don't know.
Anyway,
It's fine.
all right. So you were saying you'll do the classes there, which is good. You'll do the
Yes.
online learning, which is perfect.
Yes.
One of the questions I wanted to ask you, which I've been asking a couple of people, is: are you afraid?
Well, a month ago, I was. I really was, because of all the uncertainty, what was happening. I did not know what was gonna happen. I did not know what was coming. But now, now that I know the full picture of what might really happen and what will happen, I'm a little bit more at peace with that. But I'm still a little anxious. I'm practicing everything and looking forward to what's gonna happen. Yeah.
Listen, you said a month ago. You were following COVID-19 a month ago?
Yeah, I'm a microbiology student.
Okay, so let me personally thank you, and let me tell you why. Not enough people your age follow what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. I'm not trying to knock young people, but you and I both know that a lot of people your age, and even my age, I'm not that old, are not following what's going on in the world. And so I am super pumped and stoked and proud of you for following what's going on. Listen, I believe you and I have a obligation and a responsibility as human beings to know what is happening around us. And you know what? I've always said that, and people go, oh yeah, that sounds good. Now it matters, because it's a matter of life and death.
Exactly.
It matters that you and I know what's going on, because if we don't know what's going on, then we walk around town not paying attention with our head under a rock, and we may be giving it to other people. I'm super proud of you. So
thank you.
And I'm impressed too.
Yeah, and thank you for everything you do for Puerto Rico. Like, I don't know what we did to deserve you. Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you something. The reason you deserve me is because you are just as important as anybody else. The reason you deserve me is because the people of Puerto Rico deserve a platform so that people know what is going on there. It is a U.S. territory. There are 3.4 million people who live there. They are wonderful. It is a paradise of an island, and it has been left turned upside down by the people who've run it for decades.
Yes.
And everything has come to bear. It's a painful time right now, but I tell you what, I'll tell you this, Tony. I feel a lot of unity on the island right now. From, it's very partisan, as you know, in Puerto Rico. But everybody has sort of coalesced behind the idea that the governor acted before any other governor.
Yeah, and I'm really proud of that too.
The strictest rules, and people seem to have come around to just supporting the idea that let's bond together. So, yay for Puerto Rico.
Yes, yes.
I'm proud of you, man. I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
I'm rooting for you, all right?
Yes.
All right, be well, Tony.
You too.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Man, what an impressive dude. What an impressive guy. I love that. I love when people know what the heck is going on. I mean, we take it for granted, right? Like, you take it for granted that everybody knows what's going on. It's just not the case. Some people have a lot going on in their daily life and they just don't watch the news. This is one example of why you have to know what's going on in the world.
Hi.
Well, hi, you're so dark, I can't really see you.
Yes, wait a minute. No.
Ah, voila. What's your
Hi.
name?
My name is Olga.
Olga, where are you in the world?
I'm from Utuado, Puerto Rico.
Utuado. Yes. So tell me what your day of a new normal was like.
Well, I had to work. I work in a hotel. I'm front desk. So it was kind of normal, but, you know, a little bit nervous, I guess, because of the situation. But just washing my hands, being very precautious because I have a child of 3 months old.
Oh,
So,
yeah. What's the occupancy rate like? Y'all have a lot of people at the hotel in Utuado?
well, the hotel is not in Utuado. It's in Arecibo.
Arecibo.
I work,
Okay.
yes, I travel to Arecibo every single day from Utuado, and it was high, but most of the people leave today. So right now it's not that high.
Okay. All right. But so you are one of the people who can travel. So you have permission to transit the roadway and go back and forth, and you will continue to be paid.
Exactly, yes. For now, I'm working and like normal shifts that I always do. And
Yes.
I have an ID. I haven't been stopped in the road yet. So, and my shifts are very early. It's from 6 to 3. So I leave my house like at 5 a.m.
Tell me, does the hotel have it? Somebody was just asking a good question. Does the hotel have any protocol for keeping people in, a distance from each other, not allowing people to congregate in the lobby?
Well, like officially in the sense that we are making the people in the hotel like main distant. We didn't have to do that in the sense that everybody's making their own precaution. Like people are not being in the common areas. They're staying in their rooms. So thank God everybody's taking their own precautions, and we don't have to actually say that much.
Do you wear gloves or anything?
Yes, I wear gloves.
Yeah.
Every single time a customer comes to leave the keys or return or make the payment, we do have distance from each other. I'm constantly washing my hands. So yeah.
Don't want to give that baby anything. Listen, thank you so much for weighing in. I'm glad to have heard from you.
Thank you so much, and I am so glad to meet you.
Oh, thank you, love. Last question. Are you afraid?
I am a little bit in the sense that I live with my mom, which she's a little bit older, and obviously my son. In the case, I nurse my son, so I am a little bit at peace with that. But with my mom, I kind of sometimes am scared. So I come at my house, and before I even have contact with anyone, I go to the shower, I clean all the clothes, I leave the shoes outside in the bath.
Good.
So I really don't have any kind of contact with them until I'm fully clean.
Yeah, we don't want to bring that to mama.
Yes, and right now I was dark because the baby's asleep, so I'm always in my room.
Well, I'm so sorry, but I'm so glad you were able to join in. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. Have a nice night.
You too, love. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, next on deck. This little button is so pesky. Okay, here we go. This lady, I think, has been waiting for a while. Oh, it says unavailable to join. How about this person? By the way, if you're just joining us, we're basically talking to people about what their day was like. Hi.
Hi.
What's your name?
Alondra.
Hi, nice to meet you. Where are you in the world?
Me too. Sidra, Puerto Rico.
Okay, tell me what your day was like.
Well, I consider myself pretty privileged because I do not work. I am a student from UPR at Mayagüez. And so my day was really chill. But I am pretty concerned about the people that work and depends on their work. Like they get money every day. Like they do not. They are
Self-employed?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
So my father he owns a barber shop.
Ah.
So yesterday, like he published a letter saying that his barbershop will not be open in the next 2 weeks. So that is, I mean, so much people could be in that situation, you know?
Absolutely.
So,
In fact, it's funny you mentioned that. I thought about what are people going to do when they want to go get a haircut? Because a haircut is a place where multiple people congregate. No, I'm
yeah,
serious. Like,
yeah.
it's funny, but but that's, your dad is one of the people who suffers when we have to close down all things, and barbershops is one of them. So you can do your schooling online, right?
Yeah, also, even today I had a tryout in Zoom with a class. Like we get set up with all the new thing because Zoom is really new to everyone here. So
It's interesting to hear you say I'm privileged.
I think so because so many people, you know, as I told you, so many people depends on get paid daily, and they had child, and I don't know, it's pretty sad.
It is sad, but you bring up a good point, and it's something the rest of us have to be mindful of. I'm very privileged in my apartment with Wi-Fi and my dog and my food and all this kind of stuff. And there are people in prison who could be subject to catching it. There are people sleeping on the street who don't have a home to go to. So yeah, thank you for making us more mindful in what you've said. It's very nice to meet you.
I was gonna told you that today since 11:30, we don't have water service in my house, so it's like mind blowing because we haven't had like a hurricane or something. No, I don't know.
No,
It's really
and
crazy.
for the people who are watching, the reason she can smile in saying that is because this is a way of life in Puerto Rico. Like,
Yeah.
you lose power, you lose water. You're like,
Yeah.
it's one of the reasons why when I got to Puerto Rico, I remember saying, this is not okay. This is not acceptable. And I never want to lose that sense of urgency, because I think when you lose that sense of urgency and you become somewhat complacent, though I don't fault the people for being complacent, because if I lived there every day, I might be that way too.
Yeah.
We have to continue to hold them accountable. And
I'm sorry.
No, please, go ahead.
I call right away. I noticed that the water was out. I call my grandmother that lives in here, down the hill. So I call her furious, like, how could it be in this moment? And there is like a truck with the sound like saying all the precautions that we had to take, and I was like, don't. I couldn't believe it. Like, I wanted to wash my hands, and also because we
Oh my God! Wait, time out. It just occurred to me, you can't wash your hands.
Yeah, but because we go through so many times, we had like a bunch of water and wine bottles full with water because we go out water here like a lot. So yeah.
Right.
But in this moment, it's like, please.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I appreciate your smile. I appreciate your context and your candor.
No, thank you.
Thank you. I wish you all the best.
No, we appreciate what you do. So thanks you. Bye. Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Good night. No water. Oh my gosh. It's an inconvenience any day, but especially now. All right, let's see. Sometimes connecting with you folks isn't easy. I press the button and it doesn't work. Okay, here we go.
Hi,
Hello. Hi, what's your name?
Angelis.
Angelis, and where are you in the world?
I'm from Puerto Rico, but I am currently living in Washington, D.C.
In Washington, D.C. Okay. And what do you do in D.C.?
So I am a grad student in D.C.
Okay. Where?
So I go to the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. We have a campus here in D.C.
Yeah.
I'm currently doing my PsyD in clinical psychology.
Okay. So tell me what your new normal day was like.
My goodness, it's been crazy because I kind of live in between DC and Maryland. So since my school is in DC, I kind of have to be aware of what's happening in DC and what's closing, what's not. And I also have to be aware of what's happening in Maryland.
Right.
So I'm a student, and part of my, being a grad student, we have clinical training. So I'm an extern at a elementary school in Maryland. So Maryland gave the order of all public schools closing from, I think it's March 16th to March 27th. So basically my new normal is staying at home and watching Netflix. Like, that's just the reality.
I get it. Yeah.
It's crazy. And there's a lot to do. I feel like I should be like working on my dissertation or doing something like productive, but it's hard to kind of focus because we're getting all of this information. And like I said before, I'm from Puerto Rico, so my mind is like back home and concerned about my parents, older people. Like my mom, she has a terminal illness, so I'm always thinking, nobody visit her, like leave her, at home, and just being mindful of what we do. Something that you said earlier about that you're not a therapist, but that you thought that it was really good for people to kind of express themselves and talk about.
Yes, I was going to ask you that question. Are you afraid?
No, actually, I think I want to praise you for that, because I think that being afraid is something very normal. And I think that normalizing it and letting people accept it and kind of talk through it, just having somebody to listen, is very helpful, because the reality is that it is scary times. We're living in times that we didn't imagine that we were going to live through. And I think that we need to process it. And I think that the more people bring it to the forefront and talk about it openly, we can process it and kind of, move forward. Like, I can't wait to go back to my practice with my children and kind of see what their experience was, because I'm here trapped in my home and I'm thinking about them.
So I have a thought and then I have a question. My thought is this. We have to admit our fear and give permission to ourselves to acknowledge it.
Of course.
Because once we acknowledge our fear, there is a cathartic experience with just sort of putting it on the table.
Definitely.
Right? And then once it's on the table, then you can unpack it. You can walk away from it and not deal with it. You can invite someone else to talk to you about it and walk you through it, right? But there's a beauty, and again, I want to be clear to everyone watching. Me asking if you're afraid is not saying you should be, not trying to cause panic. It's simply creating a conversation in a space where you might feel comfortable saying, yeah, I'm afraid because of this, or I'm not afraid because of that, right? So here's my question to you. Since you deal with children, what is the right way to talk to children about this?
Oh, wow. Well, this is a really good question. It definitely depends on the relationship you have with the children and how they're comfortable talking about it. I would say create the safe space for children to talk about it. You might want to hint at it and just ask really open questions and be like, you know what? I see that there's a lot going on in the world, and I can understand that can be overwhelming, or that can be kind of fearful. I'm wondering, do you feel fearful about this? Like, how do you feel about it? How do you think this is going to affect you? And kind of get a sense of the child's experience before putting in our fears and our concerns, and just exploring how they're taking it.
So in other words, don't introduce a fear, but
Exactly.
just ask if they have one, and they may not have one, and so just let live. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But definitely normalize it, because I think that, especially I work with elementary school children and, you know, older ages, like when they're 10 and they're 11 and they're trying to be cool and they're trying to like figure out how to navigate, you know, social cues. They might be like, well, I'm not afraid, I'm not scared. But the reality is that they might have these thoughts, and just normalizing it and saying, you know what, it can be scary. The world is sometimes scary, you know, but you have people around you that support you, that care about you, and that understand that things are going to be scary. It's normal. It's a process of life.
I love this, and I thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate, and I feel like you've heard this so many times from all of us, but from a Puerto Rican that's far away from home, I've been in the States for 3 years now. I miss home like crazy. I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, everything that you do, every time that I see you flying back home, because it's your home now too. It gives me so much peace, because I know that we're going to get a lot of information, real information, firsthand information. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. You are family to us. Thank you for never forgetting about a small little island in the Caribbean, and you are always invited to the parranda anywhere, as soon as this all ends and we're able to really party. But thank you for everything.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That was wonderful. That was wonderful. That was, I mean, that is exactly why I'm trying to do this. That was an opportunity to learn something from someone who has training and is continuing to gain expertise. Like, what a wonderful thing to hear for a parent, that a good way to go about this with your kids is to say, hey, how you feeling? Like it, and if they aren't afraid and they don't, then you move on. And if they are afraid, then you kind of address it. I'm here for good. Like I ain't got no time limit on this, but I know somebody asked about Paddington, so I'm gonna go get him, and hopefully he'll stop barking. Okay, Patty Cakes, you ready? You ready? You wanna come out? Yes. Come sit with Daddy. Come sit with Daddy. Come sit with Daddy. Come sit with Daddy. Come on. There's a lot of people who want to see you. There's a lot of people who would like to see you. Hey, 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 hey. Look at the people. Look at the people. Look at the people. Look at the people. Okay. You want to sit with Daddy? Daddy will rub you. Daddy will rub you. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Firing up the next person. Firing up the next person. Unable to join. Nathan. Okay, here we go. Nathan. Yes, he's a good boy sitting in Daddy's lap. He's a good boy sitting in Daddy's lap. Hello?
Hey.
Hi. What's your name? Nathan?
Yes, I'm Nathan.
Hello, Nathan.
I'm from Fajardo, Puerto Rico, the east side of the island.
Of course, of course. Tell me your story. What was your day, your new normal like?
Well, I mean, today has been basically been a normal day inside my house with my grandparents. I currently work as a second assistant manager in a clothing store. Okay. And well, right now our mall is completely closed until, well, basically the end of the month. Right. And I've been preoccupied a little bit because, you know, my grandparents are one's 82 and my grandma is 68. So I've been trying to help in every way I can to maintain everything clean, use Clorox, wipes, Lysol, and everything just to maintain everything safe and our family safe also. So.
Good. You know, we really have to be careful with your grandparents, Nathan. They are,
yeah.
I mean, especially the one in the 80s. Like, if you go outside, you know, it is advised that you maintain 6 feet away from them, you know, because you never know what you could take into the house.
Exactly, I know.
You know,
and basically, as you asked everybody else, if they were like ready, if they had supplies. Actually, my aunt had this amazing idea after the earthquakes.
Yes.
She gave us an idea to start regrouping and buying supplies and food and stuff. So actually, we have plenty of supplies. I think
Good.
for a month. So we're ready.
Awesome. Why are people saying, Nathan, sing for us? Do you sing?
Yeah, I've been singing my entire life.
Okay, well,
That's
I didn't know anything about this. I'm just saying, I'm just seeing comments. Nathan sing. Can you sing for us?
Well, okay, well, I guess. Um, let me think. What can I sing?
Take your time. Take your time.
Let me sing a little bit of Somewhere Only We Know.
Somewhere what?
Somewhere Only We Know of Keen.
Absolutely.
I walked across an empty land. I knew the pathway like the back of my hand. I felt the earth beneath my feet, sit by a river and it made me complete. Oh, simple thing, where have you gone? I'm getting old and I need something to rely on. Okay, that's about it. You made me feel nervous for an instant there.
Bravo. Well, you got some people who know you watching this, so there you go.
Thank you.
Listen, stay safe, and thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for always listening to everybody. You have a good one.
You're more than welcome. Good night, Nathan.
Bye, good night.
He got a good voice. How funny that like 3 of you guys knew exactly who he was, wanted him to sing. All right, Deborah, you're on deck. Oh, Patty Cake, she sleeping?
Hi, David.
Hello, this is Deborah, right?
Hi, yes, Deborah
Hi.
from Moca, Puerto Rico.
Mocha, tell me what your new normal day was like.
So I'm an international medical student, and I'm just finished my 2nd year, so I'm home studying for step 1. So basically, the new normal for everybody is my everyday normal now. I stay at home and I study. So it hasn't affected me that much, but my whole family is here now, so it's a little bit more.
How many people in the house?
So we're 4, but my mom takes care of my 2 nieces, so it's 6. But at night we're
just know that Dr. I think her name is Debbie, Dr. Debbie Birx, said today at the White House coronavirus press conference that even in our homes, we are to maintain social distance, even in our homes.
Yes, it's very important that we stay calm, don't panic, just social distancing is not that bad.
Please be mindful of that. Thank you for sharing your story, Deborah. Have a wonderful night, love.
Thank you, David, and thank you from the bottom of my heart. I studied in St. Kitts while Maria was going on, and you were actually the one that gave me all the information. So in Moca, Puerto Rico, my house door is always open, and there's always going to be space for you to hear.
Oh, God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you for saying that. Good night. I really appreciate it.
Good night.
So nice. So nice. Okay, let's see. Queuing people up here.
Hi.
Hello, what's your name?
My name, I actually wrote to you a couple of weeks ago. I'm under my husband's name, but my name is Nicole. You posted the dogs in Aguadilla for me, and I appreciate that. But we're in New York. We're going through, epidemic, and it's 5 of us here. And I could relate to the people in Puerto Rico because I'm with my 81-year-old grandmother.
So where are you now?
I'm in Brooklyn, New York.
Oh, you're in Brooklyn, and you got your 81-year-old grandmother.
Yes, we live in New York City housing, and I do the runarounds for her.
A lot of people all piled up.
Yes, and
I live in an apartment building too. I'm piled on top of everybody else.
so you know you can relate. Don't mind me. I just washed my hair, so
That's all right. You good? So tell me, because you know De Blasio said today that he is considered. Well, first of all, no. He said that they're basically closing everything, and restaurants can only do takeout and delivery. And I think that goes into effect tonight or first thing tomorrow. So
it did already.
Oh, it did
And,
already. Okay.
It affected my aunt in a sense because she's a crossing guard. And out here, they're doing the to-go breakfast and lunch program, but she didn't even complete her whole 5 hours because I don't know if you know, crossing guards work 5 hours a day out here, like morning shift.
I didn't know. Okay.
They do a mid shift and then they go back for the rest of the afternoon.
Okay.
And they cut her off. And at one point, they gave her a blast from her union because they are unionized. Because a lot of people don't know crossing guards work through NYPD. They're not Board of Ed.
Oh, interesting. They work for the NYPD.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Okay. All right.
So,
so is she getting paid because the schools are closed? So is she still going to continue to get paid?
Okay. So what happened was a bill was passed for all city employees.
Okay.
That they will get paid, but by the grace of God, because we know God is good, she got a text today, and she will be able to return back to work tomorrow because they need people to cross the kids. You know, a lot of people don't know that a lot of these kids
for what? I thought the schools are closed.
To get food, to get a breakfast and lunch. They have a program.
Oh, okay. So let's pause for a minute and let people know what you're talking about. So the governor of New York today said, because for a lot of kids in this country, school may be the only place they eat. So the governor of New York today said, in closing schools, you need to also figure out how we can get these kids fed. So I'm really glad you brought that up. And what about you? What about you, love? What's your situation?
I'm a smoker, but I get asthma. But you know what? I know.
Okay,
but
time out. I don't want to fuss at you, but you realize smoking and asthma, you are like, if you were to get it, the risk for you is far higher than a lot of people.
I know. But you know, I'm being honest. I'm not gonna lie to you, but
Fair.
I have a special needs cousin. I have a special needs cousin that also lives with me, and I have my grandmother. So I'd rather go out.
I hear you. When you go out, gloves on the hand if you can, wash them 6 feet away from anybody and everybody.
Oh, I know. Oh, trust me, I know. And I have my own little Paddington. I would like to show you her real quick. Her name is Chica.
Come on now.
That's my husband in the background.
Hello,
and
husband. Oh, look at that face. Well, hold on. Here's my boy.
Yes, that is my dream husband for her because I'm in love with Paddington.
There he is. I
love him. Look, Chica, say hi.
Oh, buddy.
She's knocked out. She's like, listen, please.
Yeah.
But you know what I wanted to go back to is a lot of people don't realize that a lot of these kids live in shelters.
A lot of kids are in shelters.
It's very expensive to live in New York. You know how it is.
Absolutely.
And I have a cousin, you know, that works. She's like a I want to say like a social director or whatever, and she tells me how much food she throws out because sometimes these kids are embarrassed to eat.
Right.
And you know, it's unfortunate that they throw out the food. They won't make an attempt to go to shelters and ask, oh, you know, does anybody need food here? Because you can't eat in the shelters anymore. Because, you know, rodents. I get that.
Right.
But due to the circumstances, leave the cafeteria open in the shelters, deliver this food, and let them eat.
Listen, I think you bring up an excellent point. I hope it's considered. And if I get the chance to ask that question of someone here, I will do that.
I love you. I swear, you don't understand my family. You are Puerto Rican to us. And my family, you know, New York Puerto Ricans, they don't like a lot of people, but my husband mentions you and you have followers by the day because you're shedding light, you know, not only on Puerto Rico, but issues that matter. And you should run for governor. I'm just saying, of Puerto Rico.
Listen,
I'm putting that out there.
Here's the thing. I'm more effective where I am here because when you get into politics, the other side hates you as soon as you win. So for me, I want both sides to realize I have one objective, and it's to make sure that people who need something are heard, and we do our best to get it to them. That's it. That's my
And
only
you're doing your
agenda.
job.
That's
You're
my
doing
only.
your job.
That's my
'Cause
only agenda.
I
So
sent you that article, and you had the dogs in Aguadilla posted, and 2 days later, ASPCA is going to Aguadilla. So God bless you. I seen the post you put. You are a voice, and you are being heard.
God bless you, love.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye-bye.
Right. Let's see. Oh, look who it is. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
David! Hello.
Hello, Jess. How are you, love?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am very good. I cannot wait to hear about your new normal day.
My new normal day, I'm actually let me turn down the voice a little bit. I'm actually very grateful. I'm blessed. I work for a global company that is actually people first. I have bosses who really care about us and our well-being. And we were encouraged rather quickly to work from home. So I have a whole setup, office setup in my house. And it's great for me in the sense of being able to spend time with my Paddington, gorgeous tiger Lily. So that's always fun. But this whole situation for me, I think, and I've heard it from a lot of people, is more concerning for the elderly, right? So like my parents.
Yeah, where are your parents?
My parents are in New York.
Okay, so they don't live with you.
No, they're on their own, but I try to go daily, every other day, check up on them, make sure they have what they need.
I hope you got them under lock and key.
You know, I do. My mom is great, but my dad is horrible. And he's the eldest. He's almost 80. And it's been a true battle with him. I mean, he's hell-bent on going to get a haircut tomorrow. And I'm this close to showing up when he's sleeping and cutting his hair while he's sleeping, just so he doesn't go.
Listen,
yes.
I mean, that is bad news bears. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever it takes to dissuade him. I mean, that's part of the problem. My dad is 70 and he'll never see this video, so I can say it and not worry about it. But he is stubborn. He was reluctant to, he thought it was, and he's come around to it, according to my mother, who's a nurse. But like, your dad is the age at which we're really worried about them.
Oh yeah, and I sound like if I were his mother.
Yeah.
He's definitely not a happy camper whenever he hears me. But we have to do it. We have to keep them safe. I think there's a gap between the earlier side of the millennials, if you would, and then whatever my father's generation is called, I forgot. I feel like those extremes are a lot of people, I won't say all, but are not taking it very serious, right? So I would say the 18 to 24 bucket of the millennial. And
I'm
then
paying attention to you. Paddington is just quiet and he's eating something, so I'm looking to make sure nothing is being destroyed. He's destroyed at this rate about a toy or two a day. I lost a belt, a flip-flop, and he chewed this hat. I almost lost my pleasing personality when he chose the hat. Anyway.
No, I completely understand because I'm the same way with my baby. But you know, other than that, I mean, just taking the proper precautions, making sure that, you know, my parents and my other elderly relatives, my aunts, my uncles, have what they need. You know, making sure my family in Puerto Rico is okay. And just following the rules and taking the necessary precautions. I think that's all we can do. You know, you haven't asked me, but I'll tell you, as far as being afraid.
Yes, yes.
I was actually one of the people keeping kind of like a tab on what was happening in Europe.
Okay.
And kind of saying to my mom, like, this is going to hit here. We need to be prepared and that kind of thing. But I forgot the gentleman's name who said, you know, before it was here, we didn't really know what to expect. And you see what's happening in Europe and you're fearful of like, oh my God, it's going to be that bad here, etc. I have to say, I think Governor Cuomo is not perfect. I have quite a few things that, you know, I'm not necessarily pleased with, but I have to say that he's really shown leadership, in my opinion, in this whole crisis. And I think that he's being very proactive rather than reactive. So that instills some confidence in me because number 45, because I refuse to say the P word, number 45, the big baby in the White House, doesn't install confidence in me. So to have at least the governor do so is comforting. The mayor,
And
you know.
just to the point of the governor of Puerto Rico
Yes.
has gone way out on a limb here.
Wanda.
And was far more aggressive than anybody else. And listen,
Yes.
partisanship in Puerto Rico
Yes.
is a way of life. I mean, people consume it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But there seems to be a unity. Right. I sound like I'm Puerto Rican the way I'm talking, right?
You are.
There seems to be a unity with which people have at least rallied around and said, regardless of politics, she seems to be doing what should be done from a precautionary standpoint.
Right. No, and you know, I mean, hey, and I could go on for days on Wanda, but I have to say, I think your reporting, and I know you're very humble and you take the accolades in stride, and you're very humble, but I really think that your constant posting about the situation with the ships, right? And how people were going to get off and not be checked, and all of a sudden social media lit up. And I have to say, Nidia Velázquez, to me, she is the Congresswoman of Puerto Rico. Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, whatever, I think she was sending the tweets that Jennifer Gonzalez should have been sending, and she didn't. So I think Velázquez raising her voice as well to the social, in addition to the social media and your reporting, really helped push Wanda in that direction because she was not there.
So the Congresswoman reached out to me that night just to say, I'm reaching out to the federal agencies. And that's why I reached out to the mayor of San Juan, because somebody said, well, David, she's the mayor of San Juan. What can she do? And, you know, the governor told the mayor of San Juan, here's what I've said. And anyway, the ship's never docked in San Juan. And look, the bottom line is it didn't happen. And my whole point was, for everybody watching, if you're going to check temperatures of people at the airport, why would you not check temperatures of people getting off cruise ships when 3 of the 4 cases you had confirmed at the time all involved cruise ship passengers? It didn't make sense.
Common sense, yeah. Me neither. I was like, what?
It made no sense. So anyway, but it didn't happen. The governor said to them, you can either sit on the ship for 2 days and wait to be checked medically, or you can go somewhere else. And they said, we'll go somewhere else. So that's what happened.
So, and I'm glad that that's what she did. I think the dangerous loophole has been the airports. Today there was a case of someone who arrived on a JetBlue flight who's in Calle and now is in the hospital with all the symptoms.
Right.
So, you know, so I think that that's been a little bit of a loophole, you know, but I think at this point she's taking the necessary measures, which is comforting to see.
Listen, when I say to everyone watching, when I say the one thing I ask people to do is just be engaged and aware of what's going on in the world. Yeah. This lady right here is engaged with a capital E, and I thank you for that.
No, thank you. I mean, thank you. I hear everyone thanking you, and I think I said this to you before. You know, when it comes to Spanish language media, because the English language media does not cover Latin America or the Caribbean or Central America for the most part, the Spanish language media has a lot of covering to do. So you know, a lot of our outlets don't necessarily spend the amount of time that's necessary on each country. I think especially with Mexicans being the largest, you know, the ethnicity within the Latino population, you know, we see a lot of that coverage skewed, and even the programming to Mexicans and Mexican Americans. So I think there was something missing when it came to really being able to get news in real time about Puerto Rico that was not biased, right? And I think more so for the New Yorkers and the Florida Ricans and the folks who are now, you know, part of the diaspora who moved for whatever reasons, you really helped be that connector. And I know for a fact, particularly for English language speaking Puerto Ricans and English dominant Puerto Ricans, you were a lifesaver, and you know, you hear it from everyone. I tell you, Puerto Ricans are super loyal, and you will see as the years go on that we will never forget everything you've done and continue to do.
It means a lot to me. You know how important Puerto Rico is to me because, how do I say this without, this is not an ego statement. There's a fear that I have that if I were to ever stop reporting on Puerto Rico, it would either be forgotten or nobody else would.
Yes. And that's our fear too.
and that's why it's so important to me. That's why it's so important to me. And if for the rest of my life I'm blowing the horn about issues related to Puerto Rico, I will be totally happy with that.
And so will we. I mean, I think that's a real fear for us, a concern that because, you know, I would have expected that in other reporters and other networks, seeing what you have done and what CBS has done, because, you know, the producers, kudos to them when they, you know, take those 2-3 minutes to let you tell the story. I know it's not an easy decision and it's all based on ratings, et cetera, et cetera. But I thought I would see more of that with other networks, and we really haven't. So, you know, it to me, it's a valid concern that if you don't do it, then who will do it? But we're grateful. I echo what the other guy said, you know, whatever we did for God to feel that we deserved you and for you to help amplify the stories, then amen to that. Because we need it, and you've done an exceptional job, not just professionally and ethically, but full of humanity and with compassion. And I think that just goes a long way in how you respect our people, respect our culture, respect our stories. I mean, the coverage that you were giving to Alexa, you know, we can't forget, you know, that murder, no one's been charged, right? That murder cannot be in vain. You know, I always tell you, Kevin Frett's murder has not been solved. It's been 1 year and 3 months now, something like that. And he was also, you know, part of the trans community. And nothing's been done there either. So to have those stories told, in addition to everything else, is incredibly important. I think it was in Aguada today, a man killed his wife and committed suicide in the parking lot of a psychologist's office. So, you know, there's so much going on. And with this, you know, I think hopefully a lot of those stories won't get lost because, you know, I mean, it is a pandemic and it is, you know, the most important thing happening right now. But I don't think if we didn't have you telling those stories with the platform that you have and the CBS Viacom brand has, I think that's the big difference, right? Because the journalists in Puerto Rico are local journalists, part of a local stations, right? And those stories and their news broadcasts don't get amplified to the mainland. Maybe a little bit WAPA because of WAPA America, a network that they have in the United States. But for the most part, everything else, you just have to consume it through social media or find it. I think the fact that it started, you know, being so social from your part, but also with CBS allowing the Maria story to be told and subsequently everything that's come after that, it's been really impactful. I think it's been a game changer. I'm still hoping that, you know, I put it out there to the universe and to you, and if your producers are on, that you guys will stream a debate for the governors of Puerto Rico for the next election. I would love to see you moderate with some of the folks from el Centro Investigativo de Periodismo. So I think that would be a hit, and I think, you know, it would be really powerful. It's never been done, so it would definitely be a first. So I'm fingers crossed, but, you know, you're special. I hope your parents are really proud of you. I hope CBS sees the value that you bring to the company, particularly. And man, I have to tell you, I love Gayle King because I love Gayle King. But that last CBS debate, oh my Lord. I was like, Susan, girl, what are you doing?
Susan Zelensky. You are too much. Listen, listening to you makes it all so very real, and I'm reminded why I take it so seriously.
So I thank you for that. I want to tell you a quick story because I know that you're very spiritual and you believe in good things and God being so amazing. So on Friday, I was a little bummed because now I knew that I couldn't go to Puerto Rico as I had planned in April to visit my grandmother's grave. And I was telling God, it's been some time. I've been so caught up with work. I haven't gone and now I can't go and, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I kid you not, this reporter that I follow from Puerto Rico, I don't know her, just happened to follow her. On Saturday night, I went into Instagram and her post came up and she said, only in Puerto Rico can you be in paradise and in the cemetery at the same time. And when I saw the beach, I said, oh my God, that's my grandmother's cemetery. And when she panned right, my grandmother's grave was in her video.
Is that right?
And I posted about it on my Instagram
Wow,
because
that's a God wink. That's a God wink.
yes, yes. And I wrote to her and I said, you have no, I was like in tears and I was just so emotional because I really felt in my gut that God was like, don't worry, girl, don't go out of your way. It's all good. Yeah, so I thought that was a big God wink. And before I let you know, because you know I could talk forever, I want to show.
First of all, tell people who you are because everybody asking.
Oh, hi, I'm Jess. I follow David. I think he's amazing. I'm Puerto Rican.
She lives in New York City.
I'm Puerto Rican. I don't know if you guys can see my flag, but it's huge.
Paddington, what are you eating? Are you eating? What are you eating? What are you eating?
It takes up the whole wall.
Oh, I'm gonna lose. You should understand. I love the flag there. You should understand. I lose weight just running around my apartment chasing that little.
I hear you. I hear you 100%. I want to show you before you go, if I could. I want to show you my gorgeous tiger lily, who's a rescue from Puerto Rico.
Oh, please do.
Give me 1 second. I gotta grab her.
Please do. Please do. Tiger Lily's her dog, who she adopted from Puerto Rico. Yeah, so being Roman Joy is her handle. Yes, for you guys who are asking. She said, I'm so following her. There she is. Look at that sweet little girl.
Do you see the cross in her forehead?
I do. Yes. Wow.
So she's a
blessed dog.
Yes, she is. She's a Puerto Rican brindle Chihuahua.
Okay.
And I was on vacation in 2009, living my best life, hanging out, clubbing, everything. And God sent her to me, and everything stopped. I decided to rescue her. She rescued me, and we've been together almost 10 years now.
I love it. I love it. Well, I know she brings a lot of joy into your life.
She does. And here, can I say my final thought?
I'm listening.
If anyone is an animal lover and wants a dog, please, 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 you can do whatever you want. We live in a democracy, but please consider adopting.
Amen.
There is an epidemic in Puerto Rico of stray animals and stray dogs, stray cats, actually stray horses, stray pigs. I follow people who rescue pigs and rescue cows and all these other animals, but there's a huge epidemic with dogs and cats, particularly. And I would say even in New York City, the New York ACC, the shelters, they kill so many dogs with our tax dollars. Same thing in Puerto Rico. I don't know if you know from ESPN, Keith Olbermann. He's
he's a big animal rescue person. I see you retweeting his stuff all the time.
Yeah, the work that guy does is amazing. So just putting it out there. But if you're gonna get a dog or a cat, it's a commitment. It's like having a kid or another kid, and you have to be all in. If you're not, then don't do it.
Her name is Jess. Her handle is Being Roman Joy, and she brings a lot of joy to people. So wonderful to see you.
God bless you, David. Bye-bye.
God bless you. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Every time we do something like this and she pops on, there is like a chorus of people who want to follow her and hear more from her. All right. Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hi, David.
What's
I
your
was
name?
expecting. My name is Lorna.
Lorna, where are you in the world?
I'm in Yauco, Puerto Rico. I'm in the south.
I love Jauco. It's beautiful.
Yes, it is.
Oh
It's
my
kind of destroyed right now, but I'm hoping that we can just
I heard from your mayor
go back to normal.
today. He's having a lot of problems with FEMA reimbursement money for the houses that were damaged during the hurricanes. The earthquakes. So I need to circle back with him. The question for everybody watching is, what was your day, your new normal day like in Jauco?
Okay, I'm a photographer and I'm a Zumba instructor. I'm the one that you posted the photos that I was doing Zumba Kids in Guanica.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes.
Yeah, it's me. Usually I go to teach my Zumba classes. I have a 3-year-old intense boy. He's with me all the time. My concern right now, it's my parents. They're 70, 77, 75. My father was here today. They live like 1.5 minutes from my home. And he was here because my husband was going to change the car oil. I was like, why? Where are you going? You're not going anywhere. So you have to stay home, Dad. And he's not gonna see this video, so I can say it too. He's really stubborn. My husband is too. But my husband has a store, and
I
he
hope,
has
I
a back.
hope we're not like the stuff. I hope we're not that stubborn when we're 7 years old. You know?
I hope we're not. But my husband is he's like him, and he has a bike shop. I know that for all the people that have stores, it's kind of a shock that you have to stay home and you cannot provide for the family for a couple of weeks, hopefully. But right now, I was telling them that our priority has to be our parents, his parents, and our boy.
Absolutely.
So we have to stay here. As a Zumba instructor, we're trying something new to try to keep spreading the joy. So we're gonna be doing Zumba classes online.
Okay, this is good.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, that's the first time because we are not allowed from Zumba home office. We cannot do that.
Right.
We're not allowed. But they are like releasing that part that we can start doing that. We cannot do live on Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
Do the restrictions and the permissions from the how do you call it, the music. We cannot use the music from popular artists, but we can use Zumba music.
Awesome.
So we can do it. We did a tryout today, and we can have I connect with my students, and they just talk. They were like worried. We have to stay here, but we have to keep spreading joy and hope.
Amen.
And
where can people go to find your Zumba class?
it's like they can just write on Lorna Samide. That's my profile, and I can send them the link.
Okay, fine, done. That's
So
awesome.
it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. We're trying to do something different. We're not used to technology here with Zumba. Actually, Zumba is to go to a class, and we're huggers, we're kissers, and we cannot do that. We cannot do that now.
Spread joy. I'm all about it.
Yeah, we have to do that. We have to.
All right, love. Good night. Thank you for weighing in. Oh, right.
I'm here. I'm here. I
You're there.
changed it.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're
I'm
there.
here.
I was just saying
okay.
thank you for weighing in.
Thank you, and thanks to you, because we were really worried about the earthquakes, and still we have a little of aftershocks still. But the time, I remember you post like 2 weeks ago a video of San Juan, and it was really sunny, and I inboxed you and I said, I wrote a comment that here it was a beautiful day too. And for a day, we forgot about the earthquake. We forgot about everything, because at least me, because you post that beautiful day in San Juan, and I look outside and it's beautiful here in Yauco too. So I started having hope again. I actually I wasn't here after the earthquake.
Okay, we're back. Hopefully it will work this time. This is our third Instagram Live. The last two ended because Instagram essentially kicked me off. So I'm going to let you guys get back on, and we'll do another bout of it. And then I'm going to take Paddington out to potty. Just waiting for folks to get on right now. Okay, let's see if I can get you guys on. 35 requests. Good grief. Patty Cakes, what you think about all this conversation happening? What you think, buddy? Hi, Brian.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Just
So
here at home.
Where are you in the world?
I live in New Jersey, in Union City, so right across the Hudson River from Manhattan.
Okay, so like basically you're my neighbor. I could wave out my window.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So tell me your day. What was your new normal like?
So I work for a pharmaceutical company, and we were told we have to work from home until April 17th.
Okay.
So, yeah. And I was actually supposed to travel to Puerto Rico this past Friday, but I decided to cancel my trip, which I'm kind of glad that I did. So, and I actually, I have family in Puerto Rico who are actually on a cruise ship right now. They were supposed to arrive in San Juan on Sunday.
Oh, which ship were they on?
They're on the Royal Caribbean.
Freedom of seas.
Yes. So they're a little nervous.
So they're supposed to dock in Miami tomorrow.
Yes. My aunt said that they were told that the elderly people were going to be allowed off the ship first, and everyone else would have to stay on the ship until I don't know what else happens.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Are you going outside? I mean, what's the situation where you are? Is there a lockdown, a curfew?
So yeah, in New Jersey, there's a curfew from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m. This morning, I went to the supermarket right when they opened, and there's already a line of people waiting to go inside at 7 a.m. So a little hectic, but yeah, just trying to get through this situation.
Are you afraid?
I am afraid, honestly. You know, just going to the supermarket, like it's on your mind constantly. Like, am I going to get this coronavirus? Like, it's, you know, you're always thinking about it. So.
You're practicing social distancing?
I am, yes.
You live
for
alone?
Sure. I do live alone.
Okay. And you can you can work from home essentially, right?
I can work from home, thankfully.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And you will continue to be paid.
Yes, I will.
There are so many people who will not.
I know. I have a lot of friends who work in restaurants, and they're out of work right now, so it's a tough time for them.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, thanks for weighing in.
Yeah. Thank you for talking to me.
Absolutely. You're welcome, Brian. Have a good
All right.
night.
Have a nice night. Thank you. All right,
Good
bye.
night. Bye-bye. Okay, let's see. So the button is actually working. I can press it this time. And the one lady who has been trying to get on, I do not see you. So if you're requesting it, I do not see you. And I know what your little picture looks like, but I don't see you. I don't see you. Yeah, I don't know. All right, let's see.
Hello.
Hi there. What's your name?
My name is Omar Martinez.
Hello,
I'm in Moscow right now, Russia.
Oh, you're in Moscow, Russia.
Yeah, I'm Puerto Rican. I work for Cirque du Soleil.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And we got we got canceled our show here, of course. So yeah, it's been tough for everybody here, and everybody
Okay, so,
started to cry. Yeah.
so please tell me what the situation is. So you guys were canceled. What are you doing now?
So thankfully, Russia hasn't been hit, as you know. There's few cases here, so people can still go out, and it's kind of surreal that it's like normal out in the street during the day and night. So yeah, we got actually the whole show got put together by the technicians. It was ready to go, and then we got the order from high above that a lot of shows got canceled, because of the whole situation. So
what do you do for the show?
I'm in the music department. I'm one of the musicians. Yeah.
That's awesome. How long you
Yeah.
been working for Cirque du Soleil?
About 6 months. Not a lot. So
Congratulations, man. That's awesome.
thank you. So yeah,
And-
so my trip, yeah.
And do you live in Puerto Rico?
No, I actually don't have a home, like my own home. So I'm going to, because we're always on tour. But I'm going to my sister's house in Oklahoma. So tomorrow I fly from here to London, London to Dallas, Dallas, Oklahoma. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and
you're
everybody.
you're up to date with the social distancing rules and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. I'm going straight to a room, isolate for at least 2 weeks, because I'm going to my sister's and I have my nephew there. So yeah, they know all of that, and I know I want to do it just to be careful, So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What time is it there?
It's like 5:30 or so. I don't know. It's been crazy because people started leaving today, so they're going to their countries, and everybody's kind of like saying goodbye to everybody. Nobody's sleeping, and everybody's kind of emotional, and all of that, So.
Oh, well, Omar, I'm sure glad you joined in.
No, thank you for picking up, and thank you for the work you do for us. Yeah.
Thank you, and have a safe trip home. And Oklahoma is a beautiful state, so I hope you enjoy your time there.
I will. Thank you so much.
God bless you, Omar.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, Omar from Russia. I see y'all talking about Jeremy. Is Jeremy on here? I didn't see if he left a comment. Is the boo on here?
Oh, hi, David.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Jonathan. Puerto Rican. I left Puerto Rico 10 years ago after I was studying engineering, and then in the UPR, they were saying that the university was gonna lose the accreditation with the whole scam, or like that your credits were not. So I left the island, and I've been out of home. Now I'm a flight attendant. So my new normal is being at home, and as you can see, I have let me show you real quick. I have all the apps like Hulu, Disney Plus, even the Brazilian Global app, everything. And thank God, it used to be hard. Like my parents are in Puerto Rico. My mom has a lot of illnesses. I cannot travel, even though Puerto Rico, you could still travel there. I am not going anywhere because I know if I go home, I could bring anything. I'm a flight attendant, and they cut Sao Paulo from Dallas, which I'm a Portuguese speaker, as well as Spanish speaker. Little bit scary because the only good thing is like my dad was that kind of dad that would always tell you, always have water. You never know you live in a big city. People are not used to that. The only thing that I haven't done that my dad says, get an SUV. Because after the hurricane, my dad bought a Jeep. There's like 3 Jeeps at the house because we used to have cars in Puerto Rico from Aguada, and there's like the potholes. And now I'm like thinking, if something goes even worse, like my small car is not gonna go over the streets, like going crazy in your head, like thinking about it. And my new normal is being home. I wasn't called for work. I'm on reserve this month, so I fly for the big airline here in Texas, probably in the world, the biggest airline. And my new normal is to being at home, social distancing for my friend. I did grocery for one of my friends that she's been traveling 6 days in a row. So I went, left stuff with her sister. So at least she could have like some essentials, because there wasn't even enough to buy sofrito at the store. Can you believe that? So it's kind of scary because my family lives in Puerto Rico. I'm in Texas by myself, so it's kind of scary. Like you're with them over the phone, but you can't go visit them, even though I can. Also scary that I know everything hopefully will bounce back, but as for now, working for the airlines, I'm even scared because the virus says it could take 14 days to show up symptoms. So I was on a plane a week ago. So I'm doing social distancing, not going out for anything, because it's if we're transmitting, we will never know because we're healthy, right?
Correct.
Especially even before this happened, when it started in China, and the first case was in Orange County. My brother lives in Orange County. He works for the Orange County city.
Yeah.
And my sister-in-law, she's pregnant, and I remember, and this is like early February, when the first case was in Orange County, and I went to hug my sister. I'm like, hey, I'm still in uniform. Let me just change, because you never know. You never know. And it's scary because at least for us now, they're doing a lot of voluntary leaves. So, such a big airline, there's not enough flights right now. They're cutting everything, and then not knowing if we're gonna have a job for the next few months. Kind of scary when you have to pay rent. And thank God I'm not in a bad situation right now, but it also like scares me. I'm like, what's gonna happen with my job as well as everybody else with the airline industry? Because at least
are you in Dallas, Jonathan?
I'm in Dallas right now, but I'm from Aguada, Puerto Rico.
Right,
and
but you live in Dallas. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
I went out today, and I see a lot of my peers, which is unfortunate, like hanging out, not doing social distancing, and it's just like it gives me anxiety, because I'm like, hey, like you need to take this seriously, and at least it's something.
And you guys
Yeah.
are at risk. I mean, I saw on the CNN a short time ago there was a Delta flight that landed at JFK, and the pilot told the people that someone on board had tested positive for COVID. So, I talked to another flight attendant today in Puerto Rico who actually is not taking any flights for a week because she's just worried, and so she's kind of just staying at home for a week. So
that's what we're doing. Yeah. And
good.
It's crazy to think that I barely ever am in my apartment. My apartment looks like a hotel room, and it's because I'm barely never here. So now that I'm here, I'm like almost feeling like, oh my God, like I need to do something, because there's so much TV I could watch. So I'm like,
well, indulge. Now's the time to indulge. Hey, listen, I'm glad you jumped in. Very nice to meet you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Appreciate all that you do. It's honestly, my heart feels so much love for you, since you are always keeping us in mind in Puerto Rico. And for people that live in the diaspora like me, like hundreds of thousands of people that look up to you, it's amazing. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you. My love back to you. Good luck to you, Jonathan.
Awesome. Thank you, David.
Good night. All right. I love this conversation that y'all are just having with Jeremy on here. Oh, the boo chiming in.
Oh my God!
Oh my God!
I wasn't expecting it.
What's your name?
I'm Soraya.
Soraya, and where do you live?
I live in Miami.
Miami. Tell me about
But I'm from Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. Tell me about your new normal day.
So hold on, let me lower my TV here. Because I wasn't expecting. My normal, I work for a nonprofit organization which is a focus on health.
Okay.
And I had to go to work. So I deal with, sick children, and it's really important. I have to keep on doing my job.
Yep.
And so, it was a normal day for me.
Okay.
And I'll continue going to work until God knows when.
So Florida's got some cases. South Florida has had some deaths. So there's a bit of
Yes.
a hot spot there with community transmission. Are you, the recommendation has been to stock up on food and supplies for a week. Do you have that if I mean, look, at the rate things are happening, the federal government could impose a curfew. That, the president says, is not being planned, but they are changing things by the day. So how are you preparing, and are you afraid?
So me personally, we are prepared. We took our precautions over this weekend, and we have supplies here in my home. And actually, we did the same at my work, because I work for the Ronald McDonald House. So we are housing families, and we have supplies for them. So we're ready. And we also have a lot of support from the community, I have to say.
Got it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And are you afraid?
Concerned.
I am concerned. But again, I'm trying to, eat healthy and try to avoid social distance as well. Even with the families, remember, these people are coming from the hospital back and forth.
100%.
Mm-hmm.
Even in our own homes.
Correct.
We have to have social distance. Absolutely.
Correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But
I'm glad you weighed in, and I'm sorry to catch you off guard.
It's okay. But I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you.
I follow you every day, and I want to thank you for everything you've done from Puerto Rico since day one. And you're part of our family.
I feel like it, and I thank you for the love.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful night.
You too. Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.
That's so funny. Somebody just said, why does he keep calling on people from Puerto Rico? Is he only talking to Puerto Ricans? I'm happy to talk to whomever. I'm just clicking on the one that is basically the top one every time I click on the little button. Oh, don't give me fits now, little button. Uh-oh, my little button ain't working now. Yeah, here we go. All right, little button. Okay. Connecting.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh my God. I didn't think I was going to connect with you. That's awesome.
Well, surprise. What's your name?
Surprise. I'm Vince. I'm from Sacramento.
Vince from Sacramento? I used to live in Sacramento.
I know.
I'll
CBS
be.
13.
I'll be. So tell me about your new normal day.
So my new normal actually is kind of interesting because there really isn't a new normal for me. Like, I'm still going to work. I work at a bank. So kind of crazy. We're still going. I also go to Sac State. So we're shut down. We're going to be transitioning to all online. So that's kind of my new normal in the next week.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, it's kind of just, we're still going. People are feeling really frantic and things are kind of crazy around here, but.
So now, Vince, the governor made some decisions today, right? That affect
Yes.
everybody statewide. What are they?
I know, well, the biggest thing that I know that people have been talking about has been San Francisco. 6 counties are now shut down. So that's kind of been the topic, but I know the governor is, God, what does he say? I mean, I know it's kind of like the bars, the restaurants,
Right.
they need to do social distancing. The bars are completely shut down. Here in Sacramento, I know I have a friend who is not working. Her job said we're closed indefinitely, so that's kind of rough. I know people who are affected by that. But yeah, it's kind of trickling into, just us all shutting down.
I've been trying to ask everyone this question. Are you afraid?
No, I'm not afraid. I have an 80-year-old grandma, so I'm a little worried for her.
Yep.
But I mean, I'm not really afraid. I'm just more concerned about the whole shutdown and how it will play out,
Yep.
and exactly like how this is gonna work.
Yep.
I think I'm just more concerned or like kind of puzzled on that.
You mean, in other words, if there's a national shutdown, what that looks
Yeah.
like? Yeah.
I mean, national or like city, like San Francisco. Like, I know I've talked to a few of my friends and everyone's like, Sacramento's next. Like, what are we going to do? So.
And the governor could impose it on everybody.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, he has that right? I mean.
And I think we're moving toward that. I do think, unfortunately, that is a next step. I mean, we already know that they're considering it. The question
Yeah.
is, will they activate it and pull the trigger? So
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Well, Vince, I love Sacramento, and I'm glad you weighed in.
Thank you so much. I just have to say I'm a journalism student, and I just have to say the work you do is really inspiring. I have the rest of this year at Sac State, so I hope to get out there and eventually start reporting. So thank you for all the work that you're doing.
Find George Warren. He's a professor at Sac State. I'm a huge fan of his. He is a real pro, and you can learn a lot from him.
I took him last semester. His multimedia class was awesome. He's the best.
Awesome.
He's the best.
He is the best. Vince, I wish you the best.
Thank you. Really quick, can I do a screenshot just for my professor so I did this?
Let's do a screenshot.
Let's do it. Thank you so much. Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome,
Thank you,
Vince.
David.
Be well. Good night.
You too.
All right. Here we go. People in the queue. People in the queue. I thought somebody was getting on. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, that didn't work either. Let's see if this works.
Yeah. What's up? I can't believe I'm online with you. I am so happy. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. What is your name?
Hi, my name is Jean-Michael Vicepo. I am from Puerto Rico, Santurce, but I live right now in Nashville, Tennessee.
I love Nashville. Tell me about your new normal.
Oh, my partner is saying to say that we live one block from where a tornado hit a few weeks ago, 10 days, two weeks.
Oh, yes, of course, yes.
So, I'm sorry, what was your question?
What is your, so the question I've been asking everybody is, what is your new normal? What's your new normal today? Tennessee is not under any kind of mandatory lockdown.
Unfortunately.
So, right. So tell me what's going on. What was your day like? I lost you. We can't hear you, buddy. We cannot hear you.
Sorry.
Now I can hear you.
Okay, I just took off my headphones.
Okay.
My day today was wake up, shower, meditate, because I need to stay calm.
Yep.
Have to solve some issues with my partner. She's neurocompromised, so we have to figure out a way to get medicine delivered to our house.
Okay.
I myself quarantined myself exactly almost 1 week now.
Okay.
I've been following the story of coronavirus since late December, and I've been trying to tell everyone it's going to get here, and now it's here. I've been flooding my Instagram with all information and data from Europe and China, and people have hopefully been reading it and being aware. But it wasn't until last week I got a cold. It was 3:10. 3:10, I quarantined myself.
Okay.
And I got a cold, and I was like, this is it. No going out until further notice. I had to go out only one more time, or twice actually, to get supplies, to fully quarantine myself. It's been official, fully not leaving the house since yesterday. But I've really limited the exits before then. Every time leaving the house, I've been having procedures of desanitation and entering the house. And then today, to go back to the new normal, I wake up and my partner is work for important university. They give permission to work from home. I am an arts educator after school for minority population and children in the autism spectrum and with disabilities. Have been without going to work now for about, 1 week.
Okay.
And today it was official, all schools Tennessee closed. So After a little while of the day today of following all the stories, I watched the press conference because I have in Puerto Rico my grandmother and my grandfather, both also compromised. They're in their 80s. So I stay informed with Puerto Rico to make sure they are safe. My parents live in Cabo Rojo, a few miles from the epicenter of this geographical, you know what I'm talking about?
The earthquake. The earthquake.
Yes. So I wake up and I see some videos of how to make DIY mask, DIY desanitation.
We lost you, buddy.
Hey,
Now I hear you.
I did research of DIY mask and DIY hazmat suit and DIY entrance to the house as a cleaning, like decontamination station. And I started it today. I show you. I'm not finished yet.
Wow.
So I have to finish this part. I'm going to bring plastic all up to here. Now, I'm not leaving the house at all, but if I must, I have this 2 quarantine guidelines for leaving the house if you absolutely must.
Oh my gosh.
And I also have social distancing steps for entering the house.
Oh my word.
So you close the door when you come in after the huge, you know, everything is going crazy outside. We're not going outside unless we absolutely need to. So now we are in our quarantine zone inside our decontamination station. We just walked into our apartment. This floor right here will soon have all covered in plastic. All right, secure. We take our shoes off right here, outside actually. We sanitize them outside and we put them in a little thing that's gonna be right here so that all the shoes can be desanitized together. I cut an entrance here, so after you have desanitized and clean your entire body and your hazmat, I am on the process of making it. You remove your hazmat with your glove, take it off, and you come out to the apartment, right? And you have behind the station for decontamination.
I'm speechless. I don't know if there's another American doing this.
I am a Puerto Rican.
I don't know another Puerto Rican, or I don't know another citizen of the world doing this.
I get the idea from Instagram. So there's a few, but I am wanting to really be prepared because I have been following this news in Italy, in Iran, in China, and we have, if you look at history, close history, and the data coming out from these countries, United States, in my thinking and my, you know, like all the reading I have done, we don't have a very good outlook, and the measures that have been taken are a little late in the game compared to other countries. So I am taking necessary steps to keep myself and my partner.
So I want to get your information because I'm going to have to follow up with you. And there's a couple of stories we're going to be doing for television. And so I want to involve you. So what is your Instagram handle?
Yes, but my Instagram handle is in Spanish. It's No Pintes en las Paredes. I can spell it for you. NOPINTESENLASParedes.
Okay, I tell you what, let's do this. Just send me a message on Instagram.
You got it.
And I mean, I'm floored. This is like, if everyone was preparing like you are,
everyone should be. I exhort everyone watching.
COVID-19 would be over tomorrow. And the reality is, here's the thing. Everyone watching, you have to understand. The reason we should not laugh at this gentleman, the reason we should not, if someone wants to sort of poke fun at what he's doing, is because the CDC has said the degree to which we overreact is the right thing to do. The degree to which we overreact is the right thing to do. Because what you have to understand, and what I'm telling you is information that comes directly from the CDC.
Yes, that's
that
correct.
Where we know the cases to be, you can bet that it is a mile ahead of that. That's what Dr. Fauci said today. Where we know we are, from a medical standpoint, we assume we're a mile down the road from there. This is only where we know in terms of cases. Now remember, there's very little testing in the United States.
Yes.
When the testing becomes ubiquitous and is everywhere, the cases will skyrocket. Not necessarily because spread is necessarily skyrocketing, but because we don't know. We don't really know how many people in the United States are walking around with it, infecting other people. So, sir, I am
touch my face. I'm gonna wash my hands real quickly.
Well, people have been telling me the whole damn time not to touch my face, but I really, really appreciate you weighing in. I am so glad I got you on the phone here.
David, before I go, I want to show you quarantine step for bathroom use too.
You have a quarantine? You have a list in your bathroom?
The iodized salt and apple cider vinegar on top, so that when we come, if we leave, we come in, gargle. We have a, you know, the steps are right here.
Okay, did you write, and you wrote this just for you and your partner?
That's correct, yes. It's a little, this is the first draft, because every time I'm revisiting every day and adding things to it, I put it, it's a little explicit, the language, so I don't want to show it all the way, because I'm, you know, but don't touch your, you know. So, and then, you know, hot water, 20 seconds, do it ASAP. You know, go and do your biz, wash your hands.
I guess if it's a rule, I guess if it's the rules in your home, you can be however explicit you'd like to be. I mean, you could add a little something. I'll keep it interesting. Where is your partner? Can I say hello?
She's right here.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm so impressed with everything he's doing.
I mean, I don't even know what to think about it. I'm just letting him take the lead, honestly.
I don't know what to think about it either. I mean, I'm speechless. There is not another human being who is going to the level that you are. I'm telling you, I'm going to put you on television. Mark my words.
I exhort everyone to take the utmost extreme steps so that we can avert national crisis. I don't want to see the people in this country falling in the floor dead, or the people in my island, my family. I care too much, and I want to help humanity in every possible way I can. And if it's blasting posts of information and scientific data, or getting on a live to show my setup, then anything I can make the minds aware.
Yeah, for me, I appreciate it because, like you said, I have an autoimmune disorder, so I'm like super, I mean, I don't have one of the specific ones that are outlined, but I do have an autoimmune disease. So for me, it's like extra scary. Yeah. A lot of people our age are like still out. Like you said, we live in East Nashville, so there's bars, restaurants kind of everywhere. And, you know, most of the bars are owned by friends, people we know work there, and they've just started. Right?
I'm taking you over here. I don't want to be in the bathroom anymore, behind the flag.
Okay. They've just started closing down, and they're kind of like, oh, maybe I'll get a little sick, nothing's gonna happen. But I've been trying to spread the message that that's not really true, you know, like maybe it's not gonna happen to you, but you might end up accidentally killing someone's grandma.
Listen,
I know it sounds harsh, but like
here in Nashville, if anyone from Tennessee is watching, any of our politicians, representative, state senators, please, 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 this is not a game. The blood will be on your hands. We all need to take the necessary measures, and you are doing a good job, but it's not good enough. Stricter measures. I am the last person to call out for martial law because of my political alignments, but extreme times, extreme measures. We all need to stay safe. And today, to answer your question that you're asking everyone, I have not felt scared the entire time I've been watching this story develop since late December. Today, I had my first time being scared. I've been concerned, and that's why I'm doing so much, but today was my first time scared. A friend of hers went to a yoga studio. The story was that she was second in contact. I was third. We had to call our the line, the hotline, and then they told us, if you're second or third, you're not a priority. You should be fine. Just monitor any symptoms up to 14 days from the day of exposure. We don't plan on leaving the house for anything. I was in my mind being in the house for at least 2 months, because I know what's happening in the east, in the other side of the world. Now, after hearing the World Health Organization today, Puerto Rico press conference, and USA press conference, I am really determined to do everything possible to stay within my perimeter for as long as possible. I don't want to use that exit or entrance for anything, but if it comes to apocalypse now, then that's gonna be put into place. Otherwise, you know, if we can use some type of delivery service, but if I can show you the last bit, we have our only for emergency drawer. This is for like fallout shelter kind of stuff. Our fridge got the provisions. This is like when stores shut down. We have our trusted salchichas from Puerto Rico. We have the provisions. I have also made, we have the drinking water emergency only. We made ourselves all our sprays for sanitizing because all stores run out. And this is our new normal for now. And we want the best for every citizen of this world. And we exhort everyone to stay home challenge, please. For humanity's sake, wash your hands. Challenge.
So, love, you know how lucky you are to have a Puerto Rican, right? They're the best.
Yeah.
Being born into the oldest colony of the world really have us prepared for a lot of situations the world might encounter. And I want to, again, I know you hear all the time, but you putting our little island on the map is something that Puerto Ricans everywhere will forever be grateful. And thank you so much for doing your platform in a positive way and for allowing me to come now to be a part of it in this moment. You
are a wonderful human being.
Thank you. You
too.
too.
So I thank you for being you, and I'm glad she has you and you have her.
I'm glad we have you too.
Amen. Amen. Blessings to
bless
you.
If I can say something else for anybody in Nashville, I work for Vanderbilt University, so I had the benefit today to be able to call them when I found out a friend was in a similar place with somebody that and tested positive, and I was, asking, do we need to monitor ourselves through the sort of online survey Vanderbilt's doing for their employees? And they said, if you feel like you need, they weren't going to monitor us because they're not concerned at this point. But they said, if you want to monitor yourself at home for anyone watching, to take your temperature twice a day and just watch for any changes. So just a PSA. Take your temperature.
Okay. VW, what she's talking about is Vanderbilt University.
Vanderbilt, yeah.
Yes. So that's go ahead.
We are really blessed. We are really blessed family in privileged way that other people in our city and in our island are not. All these preparations I have been able to do are just because I have a partner that supports me and we have income from working from home and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But a lot of my fellow human beings aren't in the same position. And I want to exhort all governments in the world, leaders, to please consider if you're going to put this quarantine like Italy, no one can go out. Please, please, please find ways to think about the people that their economies are suffering, the homeless, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, thank you so much, David.
Work from home challenge. I like it. I like
Yeah.
it. Or no, stay at home challenge. Well,
Stay at home challenge.
I guess work from home. Listen, my best to you both. Send me a message so I can follow up with you.
You got it. We love you so much. Thank you for your work.
Blessings, guys.
Viva Puerto Rico Libre. Bless.
Holy moly. I was not prepared for that. Can y'all believe that? I guarantee you there is not a person in this country that is as prepared as that man. Holy moly. We're going to call it a night. It's 11 o'clock. I think we've been doing this for, what, 2 or 3 hours, I guess. Paddington needs to go out. Where are you, Patty Cake? You want to go potty? You want to go potty? So, yes. Thank y'all for everything. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for listening. Thank you for weighing in. This was worth it. We got a little bit of heart. We got a little bit of an education. Had a little bit of fun. We laughed a little. It was great. So thank y'all. So the way this runs is I'm going to end it, and then it should give me the opportunity to share it. So after the fact, you guys can go back and watch it. Okay? I'm going to do this again. I'm going to try and do it again tomorrow night. All right? Good night.